things that we want. Why do you keep coming back? I want love you don't know. So why are you here? Yeah, I should take it back so that you don't know where my heart is at. Don't want you to know. The past, don't wanna complicate things. Maybe if I asked, was any of it real? Was it real? There's only one thing left to do. My heart is breaking on you, so I'll say let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say goodbye. There's only one thing, let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say
now tuning in to TNJ Radio Show. Yo, what's cracking out this mug? Man, it's about to get crazy here. Got to take off the flip-flops. Got to take off the flip-flops, man.
Oh man, you got the socks on or no socks?
Man, you know I got the socks on, man. Who you talking about, man? You know I got socks on.
Man, there was a time when that wasn't acceptable. Before
Only white people.
People who had socks and sandals on saying it was old people.
Only white people and Africans could do that.
Hey, where are the white women at?
White people and Africans could wear no socks. Africans be rocking that thing with the ashy heel. Like.
Man, isn't it crazy how they switched it up though, man? Like before, if you were wearing sandals, I mean flip-flops, whatever, you know, it was like that's old men.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, how's your croc game going?
You put me on the spot there.
How's your Crocs?
I was about to lie. I was like, what Crocs?
Oh man, we see you in the queue. Just hold on in the queue, because it's about to be a live show today, man. It's about to be a live show. We're gonna get to it, man. We're gonna get to it real quick. So just hold by and stand by. We're gonna do a little quick. We like to work in it real slow, you know, get a groove in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, where are the white women at?
That's the theme today.
Oh man. Well,
so shout out to the people who's giving us cash outs, man. We appreciate y'all guys supporting us, and also we have a Patreon page. We'll be posting that as well. For the people who are artists, if you have a banner, send it to us. Send us to our what is it? The real TNJ.
Real TNJ at gmail.com.
We'll put that in the banner as well. If you want us to promote any projects you have, music. Usually we like to do in the beginning of our show, we like to play some music. So we're probably going to start showcasing music. Just get with our team at realtnj at gmail.com. Also, you know, we got to pay some bills real quick. So we're going to show one of our sponsors here. Give me a second here. That's how we do. Let's go. Check out one of our sponsors, afjcworldwide.com. That is afjcworldwide.com for our latest apparel, homeware, and drinkware. Definitely get a shirt for your husband, wife, doesn't matter. Again, check out afjcworldwide.com. Yeah, man, you know I'm sipping some coffee tonight. Yeah, you know, definitely get your apparel and what have you. Let's get started, man. We see you in the queue. Hey, Josie, we see ya. Real quick, let's get to it, man. We're gonna what we talking about real quick. Let's just breeze through it, and then we'll get to the monologue. And let's go.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about a couple of interesting subjects. One is it's a tale of two men. You know, these are two men that let me talk about one of them, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. One of these men, he's been known as a philosopher, a future politician. He's a hero of sorts. He's super serious, an actor. He gave us movies such as Undercover Brother, where he played conspiracy brother, which of course we know that Black people have no reason to not trust the government, right?
That's right.
No reason at all. None at all. So that was totally serious.
Mm-hmm.
He also gave us a movie where he actually put together a plan to be able to help his friend who landed in jail. You know, through that plan, he decided to turn his passion into the means of escape. He decided to go out and sell Mary J. Because, of course, that's always the best thing to do, right?
That's right.
Yeah, of course. That's what he wants us all to do. That great movie, Half Baked, if you guys haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
He's given us specials where he actually did TED Talks, and he talked about things that like babies selling drugs out on the street. He talked about racing a police officer, because he said that's what white people do. He said the white man said, I'm going to race him.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Yeah, so he talks about all these different serious things. He talked about Sesame Street. He talked about Snuffy, being strung out. Look at, these are all things that definitely take serious.
Mm-hmm.
So we talking about Dave Chappelle here, and of course I'm just being facetious, but when we look at what's going on in regards to Dave Chappelle and his history, case anyone's a no, he actually played a black white supremacist on his show.
Right.
Most acceptable thing ever, right? In fact, they ended up making another movie about it, probably based on the true story. But whatever the case, whenever he thought of this, he probably thought, you know what? Everyone should take this serious.
Yeah.
Right? So when Dave Chappelle started doing comedy where he's talking about whether it's white people, black people, drug addicts, LGBT, all these things, basically we should take it serious. And if he jokes about any of these things, then he should be canceled, because that's basically what the current society is actually saying. So some of you guys who are watching, maybe you guys agree with that. If you agree with it, go ahead and give a thumbs up. If you don't, give the smiling emoji, the laughing emoji. If you're on Facebook, and hit the like button, if you guys are looking on YouTube. But this is Dave Chappelle. He's a comedian that's been around for over 20 years. And he's been giving us laughs. Now on the other end, we have Jon Gruden, which let me tell you about this guy, okay? He plays in a sport where they all handle everything with the utmost of respect. They all handle everything on the up and up. They're the nicest people in the world. Whenever they play their sport of football, they make sure that no one gets hurt, tagged, all that stuff about concussion and all that, ignore that. All that stuff about the cocaine cowboys, ignore that. But we're going to talk about Jon Gruden tonight because he done made some people mad. And he done got himself to where he had to resign, codename fired, not voluntary. And one of the things that he said was not a apparent racist remark. He said that he could have went on an apology tour and been able to be fine. But he ended up doing the cardinal sin that Dave Chappelle was talking about, and talking about the LGBTQ community.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Oh man, we're gonna answer that question too. Because some of you been wondering. Some of you guys been sitting in the comment section. You've been looking at your the different emojis, wondering like, hey, where the white women at? But seriously though, you ever been in a football, a sports environment, Ron? I can't hear you.
I bet. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So everyone who knows who's been in a sports environment, it ain't the nicest environment. I'm not saying that things are right, but it ain't the nicest environment. So we're going to dig into that. And, we'll talk about, I want to hear y'all's opinions in regards to. Also, later on in the show, we have another segment, is black men worth dating? Because this question has actually come up.
Here, real quick, man, because we got to get to it, man, because there's people on it right now. So go ahead and say what you got to say. We're going to start that now, and then we'll talk about the other thing later.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, we'll switch it the other way because we got a special guest coming on. But
Well,
let me put it out there. What happened?
okay.
All right, so a young lady. She actually said on her Facebook that a girl that she used to dance with. You guys know what dancing. We ain't talking about the foxtrot or anything like that. But she had said she had actually married a billionaire. She said she done. She done with people. Done with black men. Says she done with the whole community. Says she was only in it for one thing. She is only in it for the poke and the stroke. But we going to get into that. All right. But right now, let's talk a little bit about Dave or John. You can pick.
Well, hold on, man. Hold on. We gotta get these people on right now. Let's get them on.
Who we got in the queue? Hey, Josie. Let me see
What's going on?
Hey, Josie, you're on the line.
Oh, hi, Uncle Ronnie.
Hey, people ain't supposed to know you. But it's cool. You're the favorite though. You're my favorite. Yo, what's going on, man? Where you at?
I'm supposed to be on camera.
No, you don't have to. I mean, we would like it. There you go. There you
Let
go.
me clean my camera off.
What's cracking?
Oh man, is that? Hold on. You know artists?
Huh?
Ron, famous artists?
Oh man, of course.
That face around.
Shout out to her, man.
Oh man,
she all over the city. Hit them like buttons right now. Hit them like buttons. If you think she cute, hit them like buttons.
I'm a crazy.
All right, what's good with you?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, we want to get to it, man. We're going to talk about the other stuff later, man. What do you think about the question we have? Is black men worth dating?
I think it's an interesting question. I definitely think that they are worth dating, but it is a struggle dating black men. And I say that because I've dated black men, but I have dated a white man too.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Huh? What's this now?
Yeah. My most recent relationship was with a white man. So it is a very different experience.
All right. Well, tell you open it up. So what's the different experience?
I think that, with dating black men, it is more so of like a mother-son relationship. Like you do a lot of teaching. A lot of black men don't really grow up with both parents in the home, so their love is a lot different than white men. So it's just a different experience. I feel like dating black men is definitely worth it, but it's definitely more work for a woman. I feel like you just have to do a lot of educating on relationships, because I don't think that black men get the luxury of seeing a lot of healthy relationships in order to be in a healthy relationship.
Oh man. Will, get her, Will. Get her, Will.
Well, my question, without saying an age, because I know that most women don't want to say their age, what generation do you fit into? Would it be millennial? Would it be Z?
Yeah, millennial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you going to find these men?
I mean, man, in different places, honestly. I would say that I meet every guy in different places. Like, I'm not really like a going out type of person. I'm more of like an artsy person. So I'm like on the art scene, and that's where I meet a lot of people.
Okay.
So they walk up to you, or do you walk up to them?
I don't walk up to anybody.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Boom, perfect timing.
Oh man. So which one do you prefer dating? Who you dating now? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm not dating anyone now. Like, you know, I hate to say it, but my experience with my white boyfriend was a lot better than my experiences with my black boyfriends.
Oh.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that I would never date a black man, or I don't want to date black men. I love black men. I want to marry a black man. It's just very different.
You
So
know,
now,
you sound.
now I have
You know what you
different
sound like?
standards.
Sorry to
What?
cut you off, but you know you sound like.
Who?
You sound like you know, it's not you, it's me. You're just not my type. That's what you sound like right now.
No, I'm not saying they're not my type. I want to be with a black man. It's just being with the right black man. Like, for instance, I'll say I had a relationship with a black man who was raised, you know, in the same household as his mom and his dad. And if I compare that relationship to any other relationship, it would be with the white relationship. Like, it was very similar in how they treated a woman. So I think that really does play a part in how a man treats a woman.
It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Will you got anything you want to add before we?
Well, only thing that I would really say, as far, because you said that you're not going to them, and they're usually coming to you, right?
Right.
Okay. When they're coming to you, do you have any type of screening process? Like, are there a couple of things that you have set up ahead of time to be able to say, but before, I don't know if you do phone numbers, Snapchat, or or whatever. I don't know what people do nowadays. But is there any type of screening process before they get whatever information?
Definitely how they approach me. And yeah, that's just the biggest thing, really, like how they're like approaching me and how they're presenting themselves to me. That sounds crazy.
All right, so give the crazy story of how a dude tried to talk to you. Black dude.
A black dude tried to talk to me. A crazy story. Just like complimenting like my body. Like, I've had a lot of guys like do that, like just like compliment like my body, and to me that's just like, okay, like you're approaching me on like a sexual level, and I'm not interested.
Oh.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming on. We got a few people we got to hit up, but is there anything you want to promote while you on here?
No, I just appreciate y'all letting me come on.
Oh man, that was dope, man. We really appreciate it. Definitely hit them likes, man, and hit the comments if you're trying to holler at her. Get in the comments. It's like, no, just I'm just playing with you.
All right, bye.
All right. That was funny. Oh, shout out to A Josie right there. That was dope. She gave some great insights on that, man.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I think kind of stuck out. So she said that the approach more so talking about her body. You think that's true?
Oh yeah, that's totally true, man. Come on, man. Why you trying to front, bro?
That's rhetorical in the mud.
Oh man, come on. You know how people do up in the club or whatever. She said she don't go in the club or nothing, though. But but that was dope. Let's get to it. We see Lynn in the queue. Let's pull her up. Hey, lady. Hello.
Hey guys. Hello.
Hey. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Where you headed to? Or you headed home?
I'm actually headed home. My husband had to stop in Walmart, so I'm just in the car. I wanted to do what I said, so
Hey, we
hope
gonna
you guys
hold you
can hear
long.
me okay.
Yeah, we hear you great.
Good.
You said you had like a dinner party. How did that go?
It was good. We just met with a couple friends and had some dinner, and Now we're headed back.
Okay. All right, man. We into this conversation. Is black men worth dating?
This is a very interesting topic for me.
Tell,
I mean,
before tell your husband don't get mad for what you got to say, but go ahead, go. We ain't talking about you, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, I lost. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You went on my Bluetooth. Hold on.
All right.
okay, you hear me?
Well, real quick, anybody watching, hit them likes, hit them share, and also put some comments in there in the comment box. Now, what I was saying is, tell husband don't get mad. We ain't talking about him. We talking about we talking about
No,
past.
it's cool. He in the store anyway, but that's all right. That's
all right. Go ahead.
So, I mean, I do, of course, I do think that black men are worth dating. Especially as a black woman, you want to be able to date and be comfortable and secure within your race. Unfortunately, I think it takes a lot of work today. I think it's always been a lot of work trying to date black men. I think that today it has gotten a lot worse because there's just so many other interferences that make it, that much more difficult. So it definitely takes a really strong, really secure, really whole woman to be able to date a black man today.
All right. So you got to explain that. Why do you say that? Can you hear me?
I've had a lot of grace when it comes to black men, more so than most women. Like in most of my relationships, I probably spent more time than I needed to, just because I'm very passionate about the black man. And so I have a tendency to look at the history of black men and just kind of track where they've come from, track why they have some of the behaviors that they have, track why they have a lot of the insecurities that they have, track why they're not as far along as they should be and as far along as black women. And when I look at that deficit, I really put myself in positions to kind of help encourage that, instead of just beating them down more. So when I say it takes a really strong, really secure, really whole black woman to be able to date a black man, I'm saying you have to be really secure in yourself as a woman, and you have to have some knowledge about who black men are and what they've been through as a whole, so that you can kind of go in with a different perspective. Does that work for every man in every relationship? Absolutely not. But I think that a lot of good men have been birthed out of a woman like myself, if that makes sense.
She going in, guys. Pay attention. Yo, Will, you have any comments on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Len, now just because we always have different groups, and just like I had said to Josie, not gonna ask you your age, but
I'll tell you, I have no shame.
Okay. Well, we don't have to play this age group game.
Yeah,
okay.
nope. I'm a 48-year-old black woman.
Okay, so you're
perfect timing.
Okay, yeah. So Generation X, so definitely different from millennials. I guess what is different in your perspective, with the men that you have dated compared to probably what you're seeing now?
So Generation X, I think we still had a generation that possibly would have people that come from 2-parent homes, or at least fathers who were still active in their children's life. And I do believe that makes a difference. So what I see today is a lot of parentless kids just out here doing anything. Not necessarily not kids, but you just have a bunch of misguided people. And when you have a sex men, with all the things that you've had against you, for however long, and you have a generation that is not there to teach on that, then it just kind of makes matters much worse. So essentially what we have is a bunch of broken men that are not just broken, but they're ignorant. So, it's just like kind of like a double-edged sword, you know what I mean? And so when I was younger, my friends, some of them still had parents, or even if they didn't have a father in the home, they had an uncle who would step up, a grandfather who stood in the gap, somebody from the church. There was somebody. But today you just don't there's just not a lot of men standing in the gaps, right now. And, like I said, the best way to summarize it is that you have essentially a bunch of ignorant people just kind of walking around. And that doesn't just go it's guys and girls today. So.
Okay. So, question. Obviously you found your significant other. Is it hard to find what they call a high value man in your 40s? Some people women spend their time getting their education, and then now it's like, hold on, I'm ready to settle down and can't find anybody. Did you have that issue, or?
Yeah, I think it definitely is difficult because we're at an extreme deficit. My generation or the millennials or, whoever, you just don't have the amount of men, with the same standards as women. But, again, I wouldn't say all is lost. My current husband, we just got married this past May, but we've been dating off and on for a very long time. And the reason why we weren't married sooner is because he just did not meet my standard at the time. He was a street guy. He was, he's in the streets. So like when he was in the streets, I couldn't have any dealings with him because that's just not who I am. But we just always kind of stayed in contact. And when the timing was right, we kind of got back together, and I essentially helped him grow. He knew that there was just certain things that he couldn't do when he was with me, and I was just able to assist him in different areas of his life, just kind of, get to the place where not only I needed him to be, but where he needed him to be. And a lot of women don't want to do that. They are appalled by the idea that I have to teach a man how to be what I need. And, that's where my different perspective kind of come in, because it's just like, listen, there are systems that were built against our men to pretty much have them where they are now. We had different advantages. That's why we have more degrees and, all of those things. And so sometimes it just takes sitting down, hearing their story, seeing if they want change, and then figuring out how you can help them execute it. And all I hear today is women saying, I don't want to do that. And I shouldn't have to, raise no man, and I shouldn't have to do this, and I shouldn't have to do that. And that's true. But if you don't want to be single, it might just require a little bit more, work.
So you was like, you told yourself you didn't want a cat. So you was like, I want a man. I want a real man, I want a cat.
Yeah. Yeah. And and sometimes, that man, sometimes he don't even know who he is. Sometimes when it's the right person, when it's your person, when God says this is your person, sometimes you see the king in them that they don't see. And you help bring that out of them. And I've seen it. I've not only brought the king out of my husband, but I've volunteered and this is how passionate I'm about that. I've gone into the prisons and just taught life skills and did different programs just to kind of help them see that this doesn't have to define you. Okay, you took the bait. Okay, but this doesn't have to define you. You don't have to stay here. And the best feeling in the world is to be out somewhere shopping and a guy come up to me and be like, do you remember me? And I'd be like, no, I don't. And they say, well, you taught me down at the Allegheny County Jail, and you told me to, come out and clean up my act and get myself together and respect my baby's mom. And now I'm an active part in my child's life, and so forth and so on. It's a really amazing feeling. And you will be surprised how many people want it, but they just don't know how to get it. So if all of the Black women take the attitude that I don't have them to do, I'm not building my man. I'm not encouraging him. I'm not helping him. Essentially, what we're going to have is a bunch of broken men and a bunch of single women. And who wants to see that? Because that's not going to help our culture. So,
right. Hey, we're gonna leave it at that. That was really good. Give a shout out to Lynn. He brought it.
Man.
Well, you want to say anything, Will, before we go to the next one?
Well, that's definitely huge because one thing that kind of stuck out was that she had said that the person her current significant other and also congratulations on your marriage in May.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes. But she said it wasn't the season for that. He was out in the streets and she didn't want that. And I think that's one of the huge things. Basically, I don't know if he had a life experience that made him change. I don't know if he's like, man, I really want her. That's probably in the picture also. But I do believe that women do have a power and to be able to affect the men. But a lot of men, especially when they're younger, they think that, hey, that's the way to be able to get the woman. You need to be out in the streets. If your status ain't hood, and all that stuff.
Well, you saying lyrics? That sound like Destiny Child, man. What's up with that? You cheating? Go ahead.
But it's true. They verbalized a lot of things that people were actually saying, and it was just in song. But I mean,
hey, man, stop listening to Destiny Child, man. I'm not playing with you. Cancel that. But
anyone, the Beehive who's watching, we just playing.
We just playing.
Well, we won't hold you up when you're on your date with your hubby. You wanna you promote anything, or you want to say last words before you go?
Nope. I just want to.
Oh man, she disappeared. Oh man, the thug must have hit her. Bam. Thug must have hit her with the boot. It's like no. Shout out to Lynn, man. That was really dope. She gave us some great insights on that. Oh, hold on, she's back.
All right,
let's get her on real quick.
Yeah, just be encouraged, Black men, and continue the great work.
And that was fantastic. Really appreciate you supporting us and getting on our show. Appreciate that, Lynn.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All
right. Okay, so we're going to go to Cynthia. Don't put her on yet. Daria, Jimmy, and then Captain Mayonated. I think. Yeah. I can't wait to hear Jimmy and Cap. We got to put them on together. All right, let's get Cynthia on there.
All right.
You got it.
Yeah.
What's going on?
How y'all doing?
Oh, we just hanging out, man. Just hanging out, enjoying this show, man. You enjoying the show a little bit this year?
Yes.
Oh, we know you about to turn up, man. So we were waiting for this.
What you waiting on?
Oh man, they don't know yet. They don't know, but they'll see.
Everything. Real quick.
Go ahead, Will.
No, I said dressed up. She came on, hair done and stuff like. We know we about to get the fire now. So
hold on. Let me see what the day it is. It's Wednesday. So did you come from church tonight?
I came to the church. You.
We having church tonight.
Okay.
All right, so we won't hold you up, but what do you think? Is black men worth dating?
I think black men are worth dating, but we as women got to stop settling. We got to stop settling because I'm gonna go deep. Because the Bible says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. We as women got to stop searching. Because when we start searching, we're searching for all the wrong things. Because some women and some men, they're looking for love in all the wrong places. People are raised up in broken homes. That man, he's raised in a broken home. That woman, she was raised in a broken home. So she's looking for love. She's looking for a daddy in that man. That man looking for a daddy, a mother in that woman. And when you go to that perspective, it gets deeper because you got to know what you want in life and you got to have that confidence. And a lot of the problem is we as people don't have confidence in ourselves. So when that mate comes, when they say, you so pretty, I already know that. So tell me something else. But when you all weak and bubbly down and you've been abused and mistreated, you so cute. Thank you. And then, well, you know what? You following him home. Why? Because he said you was cute. And guess what? You ain't used to nobody telling you you cute. You ain't used to a man showing you your value and what you worth. You used to having less than. So when you used to having less than, your confidence level is not up. So what that means? That means you got a confidence level that's so low that you'll settle for anything. And when you let anything come in, then that's what you're going to get. Anything man. If that man let anything come in, that's what he going to get. Anything woman. But you got to make your mind up and know what you want in life. You don't have to settle. I was married 18 years. Did I settle? Yes. Why? Because I listened to the church folks. You got to get married. You can't fornicate. You got to do this. And I married that man, but guess what? He was not the man God had for me. I married him, but I went through hell. And guess what? I tried to make something work that wasn't even supposed to be together. So we spend time, a lifetime, trying to make something work. Why? Because we take our season and try to make it a lifetime when our season is supposed to be gone.
Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired right there. Yo.
I'm just saying, you gotta know what you want and get. Cause you know what? An old man told me this, and it woke me up. He said, "You get what you got until you don't want what you get."
Hold on, you gotta say that again. Say it one more time. Say it again.
You get what you got until you don't want what you get.
Ooh.
You ran after it till you got it, and then it wasn't even worth you running after.
Man, so where you calling in from?
From Bainbridge, Georgia.
Representing Bainbridge. So Will, you got anything to add on that or ask?
Well, you know what, Cynthia, let me ask you this: Are you married now?
I'm going through a divorce now.
Oh, okay. This is the same one that you were married to 18 years ago.
Yeah, 18 years.
Okay. So when you guys got together, what were the things that you were looking for in a man?
Pretty much, I've always been my own woman. I've always been independent. All I need a man to do is bring to the table. Bring it into the table. I don't need much. I'm already established. What you bring in is the extra. I don't pressurize you. All I want you to do is love me for me and do the things that a man's supposed to do so I can pull out the pants and put on my dress. Let me say, hey, how you doing sometimes? Now I got to put the pants on and go to the door. You in the bed, I got to go to the door and tell the rent man that we ain't got the rent money.
Ooh.
I don't need that in my life. I need a man that's going to stand up through the thick, the thin, the good, the ugly, the pretty, and the bad.
Okay.
So let me ask you: Are you submissive? Do you believe in being submissive to your husband?
Very much, but he got to show me that he can be the man. And when I say show me that he can be the man, I mean if I'm submissive to you, I'm looking for you to be the man that go do all the manly things, do the yard, answer the door, bring the money home. Let's lay all the bills on the table together, and let's split what's left. I need that kind of man. I don't need, because I'm used to paying all the bills by myself. I know how to handle the whole house and me. Let me miss some days from work, not you miss them all.
So you don't want that situation where there's a knock at the door and you like, you gonna go get that?
Yeah, and then you know it's the rent man. No, you go get it, baby. No.
Oh man, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate you coming on here. Do you want to go ahead?
I'm gonna say this one more thing. This is what I want to tell all the women. If he didn't help you set it up, don't let him sit in it.
You gotta say that again, man. She's from the South. You got all these sayings. Go ahead.
If he didn't help you set the house up, don't let him sit in the house. That means don't let him be comfortable in something he helped you build.
Boom, perfect timing.
That's dope. That's dope. You got anything, Will, before we go to the next one?
Well, definitely, awesome. Did you have anything you wanted to promote, Cynthia?
Yes, I want to promote that I'm a travel agent, and I wanted to put my information out there. So if all you travelers that want to travel, I book. And if you want to be a travel agent, I also can sign you up for that and show you the rope on that. I'm just a woman with many hats.
Okay.
I do a lot of things.
All right. Well, when we put you in the queue, okay, send up where it says private chat. Send that over, and we'll be able to put the links up, later on. All right.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
Oh man, Cynthia went in, didn't she? That was good. Oh, you gotta. The women down the south, man, they definitely have the sayings, don't they?
Yeah. Man, we about the we in the book of Proverbs right now.
She's like fat meat is greasy. That was dope. All right, let's get Daria on.
All right. Daria is coming on in 3. Psych, you're on.
What's cracking? Oh, we got to give her applause. Hold on. There we go.
You're muted. You muted yourself, Daria.
You're muted.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah. Yep. What's going on?
Hi, everybody. Blessings. Great topic. Been listening to everyone. Yes, they are. Y'all going hard today.
Yeah. So where you I mean, if you want to disclose that information, what area of the map are you calling from?
North Carolina. I am in North Carolina.
Nice. So you want to chime in? What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about the men topic? Let me pull that back up.
Absolutely. That's what we all talking about.
All right.
Is black men worth dating? First of all, the quick answer to that is yes. I believe black men are worth dating, and there is some black men out there that, I mean, there's stigma around it, of course, but there are some good black men out there.
Hey, where the women at?
And I'm gonna throw a two-edged sword in here too in a minute, but I want to say that you have to, when we're talking about dating, I've seen that a lot of people went in from dating to marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole thing right there lets me know that people believe that black men are worth marrying. And so what's the motive behind dating? When you get on the scene and because I personally believe that when a black man dates you, he knows exactly what he wants. If he asks you out for a date, he knows exactly what he wants, and the conversation will let him know further what he wants. Right? So if you both are in it to, have a relationship, then it'll show in the dating process. It'll show. Our culture, there's a lot of men out there that wasn't raised like, all the other women were saying, wasn't raised with mom and dad in the house. So they don't know how to love a woman. Not necessarily a black woman, but I'm gonna just say a woman. So you do have to teach them how to love you. Because when you come into a situation, like just say if y'all wanted to move into the house together or whatever the case may be, you bring in two different personalities under the same roof. And so you don't know what you don't know. And so if I like, just saying, if I like my feet rubbed, but I'm not verbally saying that, and I'm getting mad at you because you ain't rubbing my feet, but you don't know that I want my feet rubbed. You get what I'm saying? So you do have to teach somebody how to love you. You have to teach them how to love you. And so when it comes to our black men, we get such a bad rap with them because they just don't know how to love. It's not so much the black woman, but they don't know how to love. Sorry, my husband just walked in here and gave me the eye.
Bring him on. Let's hear his side of the story. But go ahead.
So, I was getting ready to say the two-edged sword. Women don't know how to treat black men.
Mm.
You
Well,
know,
now,
some of them,
okay. Go ahead.
they don't like. I mean, some of them go with a whole motive. You gonna pay my bills. This is how you gonna get sex. You know, some of them go with this whole motive, like you know, listening to their friends, going back to their friends, telling their friends about their their emotional drama that they're going through with their husbands, and it ruins the total relationship. It might not even be the way that you are emotionally speaking about it. It may not be that way, but you went and got another opinion about the situation. So now you brought that back into the house, and he don't even know what you're talking about. And you brought this question up to him. Y'all on a date, and you just asking him random questions, and he's like, "Where'd she get this from?" You know, like we were just on a date last Saturday, everything was cool. You come back this Saturday asking me random questions that ain't had nothing to do with our relationship. So there is a balance in that.
Now, if you were in the dating scene now, where would you find a black man?
I mean, where would I look for one?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't looking for none. They looking for me.
Oh, she out here cocky right now. Go ahead. You be bumping your card up in the Costco's like boom.
So that's just what it is. I mean, we are presented with opportunity, and we make those choices based on that opportunity. So
now, if you were, I mean, I'm not trying to get your husband upset, so you could say somebody else. Now, do you notice if someone is looking for a relationship, do they dress different? You know, what do they do? Like what do women do when they're trying to attract a man?
Absolutely, they dress differently. I see where you're going. So they dress to attract. You know, they dress to attract the guy.
Well, what do they do in the church? Like, what do if women if women try to find a man in the church? What do you see women do in the church? Go ahead.
It's not like they are dressing seductively or anything like that.
I'm not gonna stop you, but I know what they do. They be like, "Yes, Jesus." They got to be the loudest one in there, huh? Like, "Yes, Lord."
Well, their Holy Spirit might be a little bit louder, but but it's not. You know what they do.
The Holy Ghost when they be running up and down the thing like. Ding, 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 ding,
ding. Well, that's if they got the man. That ain't in the dating process. That's
all right, go ahead. I'm not gonna interrupt anymore.
But yeah, to answer, what question do you want me to answer about the church women or what?
Yeah. How do women, if they want to be in the dating scene, how do they attract men? To come talk to them. Black men.
Well, most likely it's the men that comes talk to them. It just comes in conversation. That's the real way to do it. But there's some women out there who is freaks. They want what they want when they want it. And so they have different motives. That's why I started off like, what's your motive?
Good stuff. Well, you want to end anything, and then we're gonna kind of move on.
Oh man, well,
that's good.
There, was just bringing a whole different point of view.
That's right.
In regards to now, what about, because you said they're going to find you. If you were a single woman, much respect to your husband right now. Where are these places where would they find you at then?
See, you attract who you are. So, if I'm out there in the club, I'm gonna find them in the club. If I'm out there handling my business, eventually you're gonna find somebody, wherever you at, a meeting place, wherever you're at, you're going to find, somebody somewhere. But you attract who you are.
Good stuff. You anything else you want to end with, Will, or I want to step on your toes?
and get your credit together.
Oh, hold on.
We
Get that money right. Thou shall not get that money, man. But go ahead. What you say, bro?
What about young Daria? What was her philosophy on men?
Oh, Jesus. Well,
you can't say
she needed some lessons, but I was always mature. That's all I can say. I was always mature, and I was looking for somebody who was willing to grow with me. You know, I wasn't never looking for anybody, you know, to pay my bills or anything like that. I've always wanted to grow with a person.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess that's how I found my husband, he found me. He chased me for like a year.
Oh man, you got to tell the story, man. Tell the story before you get off. If you want to tell it, it's up to you.
So we used to work together. We worked in the same place. I don't know if anybody knows it from Pittsburgh. It was McConway and Torley. And he started speaking to me, like, you know, just basically hi, or, you know, how you doing, or whatever the case may be. But I'm looking at him like, don't speak to me like that. Like, you know, when you speak to me. But he started talking to me on a regular basis. He would see me when I would come out the building. And so he just asked me out on a date one day.
Mm-hmm.
And it took, I don't know, probably like 2 weeks after that.
6 months.
Oh, he said 6 months. I thought it was about 2 weeks. That's how much I was paying attention to him. So it was about 6 months before I even went on a date with him. Because I was having regular conversations with him, just trying to, you know, fill him out, see what he was about. I knew he worked. That was just obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, we went out on a date, and then that was all she wrote.
Oh, that's dope.
But it took him a year.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, is there anything you want to promote before you want to get off?
I have a candle business, Supreme Candles and Butters. You can always find that on www.supremecandlesandbutters.com if you're interested in candles. I specialize in candles for women and men who suffer from anxiety and stress. We just started a new line on that. So that's about it.
All right. We really appreciate you. If you can leave your information in the private chat, we'll put it up before we end the show.
Okay. Well, you all have a wonderful day. I will continue watching.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Oh man, we rocking and rolling today. Rocking and rolling. Now, we're gonna put Jimmy X on, man. You know Jimmy X. Oh, we see you in the Q social climate as well. Oh man. Oh, I ain't see this guy in a while. We gotta put him on too. So, but real quick, we'll put Jimmy on first, and then we go with what the flow. So, yeah.
All right.
Hello.
Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah.
What's cracking, Jimmy?
See, y'all done rile me up with this show. See what I'm saying? I just wanted to sit here and listen. Y'all done got me started. I'm gonna piggyback on something Daria said.
Okay.
You over here asking black men, is it worth dating black men? Maybe these women need to learn how to love some men.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. What you say?
I said maybe these women need to learn how to love some men. Because a lot of these women, just like a lot of the guys, ain't growed up with no man in their life. So you want to get with me, we get together. Now you want to try to boss me like you my mama? No.
Hold on.
That ain't gonna work.
Wait, give me a second here. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Now. I'm not a child. I'm a grown man, just like you grown. And yes, I'm bringing it to the table. I'm bringing my money and I ain't even gonna say it. I was gonna get ignorant, but I'm bringing that with me too. Okay. And I want some respect. I'm gonna give respect, but I want to receive respect. A lot of the times you deal with ladies, they done already been told, oh, you got to halfway raise the man. You ain't got to raise me like I ain't got to raise you. You grown, I'm grown. We're gonna be grown together. We're gonna love one another and come together as a unit. But you're not finna boss me, and I ain't finna boss you. We're gonna work together to make this thing work. Okay? It's black men. Yeah, we worth dating. Yeah, black men worth dating. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Where you calling from, man?
Man, I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia, man.
Oh, you one of them South dudes, huh?
Yeah.
You
Today
do some
I
time?
am. Huh?
Have you ever did time?
No, man.
Okay.
No, man.
No domestic violence.
No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. The only thing you should hit a woman with is some hugs and some kisses. You know what I'm saying?
And what? And
yeah, plenty of that. Plenty of that.
Okay, well, all right. So, so you didn't like what Darius said?
No, I like what she said. When she said the women got to learn to love too. That's one thing I want to put in. I've been hearing all the women say, you know, you got to work with the black man. You know, it's a lot of work. Hey, y'all a lot of work too. Y'all a lot of work too. It ain't no easy thing. Dating no black woman, that ain't easy. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Y'all get mad at me if you want to. You date a white woman, you date an Asian woman, you date a Hispanic woman. If you say, baby, stop talking, they stop. You date a black woman, if you say, baby, stop talking, ain't nothing gonna stop. She gonna keep running.
Where the white women at?
They disobedient. But then they say, you know, we don't know how to love and all that. Y'all disobedient. Y'all trying to boss me.
Where the white women at?
I already got me a mama. I don't need another mama. I just got out of my mama's house. I don't need you to be my mama.
Boom, perfect timing.
Y'all had 4 people come on here and jump all over black men. I ain't taking it. I'm not taking it. We're not gonna take it.
So
come on, there's 2 sides to that thing.
So you're in a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. How long you been in a relationship?
Man, I've been with my woman 12 years. I love her, and she loved me.
Now, how did you pick her? Did you find her? Did she come to you? Did you find her in the church? How'd you find her?
You want me to be honest? Okay, so I was a dog, a womanizer at one time.
Oh, so you're the person that they were talking about.
I was low down. Okay, and I had, you know, when you in the womanizing business, sometimes you get hurt. You know, just like football. You be hitting them, but sometimes they hit you. And I was injured in the game. And my cousin, who was a womanizer as well, he was like, man, you over here. You ain't got no women. What you doing? I was like, man, I'm tired of this. Man, I want to do it right. Because the way my mom raised me, she raised me how to treat a woman the right way, for real. But I wasn't practicing that. You know, I had pledged to fraternity. I had learned bad stuff, and I was doing it. And he said, well, what you looking for? Because I know some girls. What you looking for?
Yo, Cynthia was just talking about this dude, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said, I want a nice girl. She got a head on right. He said, oh, I got this perfect girl for you. We're going to go to breakfast and you're going to meet her. And when I saw her, I thought, okay, she was real skinny, you know, right? But then she turned sideways and I could see more of her body. And all of her wasn't like little and skinny. So I said, okay, that's working. That's working. And then when I saw her speak, she wasn't even talking to me. She was talking to someone else. When she was speaking, she was saying things that aligned with how I wanted my life to go. Like, don't waste your money. Try to stay healthy. Be respectful. I was like, okay, that's it. And I said to myself in that moment, I said, I'm going to get this woman. We're going to get married. We're going to have about 2 babies before she even know what's happening. I'm going to treat her right. She ain't going to have a chance to experience any bad stuff. I'm taking this. I'm running with it. And that's essentially what happened.
Hey, where the white women at?
Is she white?
No, she black.
Okay.
She black. Ain't nothing wrong with black women. Okay. Just saying, they was like, oh, you got to teach these black men how to love.
Hey, well,
I'm gonna say
all the women that came on here described you.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did. It was a time I didn't act right at all, though. I didn't do nothing nobody told me.
So what made you slow down? What made you stop?
2 things. Number 1, I ran into somebody that was bad, worse than I was. That's one thing. That'll straighten you up. And the second thing, even at that, I was starting to see these patterns.
Wait, I'm sorry to stop you, but you said somebody was worse than you were. What do you mean by that?
Well, I was a heartbreaker, and they was even worse. They was a heartbreaker too.
What'd they do?
Well, you know, they did what's up, too. You know what I'm saying? They did something low down, you know. I don't want to say on the air, they did something low down. But it was okay. Because I want you to know I had done many low down things leading up to that. You see what I'm saying? So I was mad. I was like, dang, man, can't believe that happened. But I probably had it coming.
This is a safe space. It's just us on here.
No, it's not just us. It's on the internet. It ain't no safe space. Will Thomas. It's on the internet. Just let me say I was behaving badly, okay, for many years. Okay.
Did she know you was behaving badly? My question.
Did she know I was yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah. She had caught me behaving badly a couple of times.
Man, everybody described you on this.
Yeah. I ain't care. I did not, man. Listen, I ain't care, man. I was a dog, man.
Okay.
Whatever, man. And that was a time back then. It wasn't really social media, so the lies worked really well back then. Like now, you can't hardly lie. I mean, I don't know. I've been out of it so long, but you could say I'm going to hang with Will Thomas, and you be with Tracy. And you see what I'm saying? Like that's just what it was. So I had got caught, doing something wrong, and then they like reacted to that in a very negative way. And so after all that, and plus seeing different patterns in life, I was like, this womanizing BS ain't taking me no man. Who want to be a player for life? You know what I'm saying? The guys that's happy, they have families. How long I'm finna do this? So I was like, and I know how to treat a woman. I've been taught that. My mom was real big on that. My dad was real big on that. So I knew how to do right. I wasn't one of these guys you got to teach somebody how to love. I knew the right things to do. And I said, I'm tired of playing around, tired of living wrong. I'm finna do right immediately. I ain't finna wait. That's something else. When somebody want to do something, it didn't take long.
Okay, so you said you're talking about yourself, but we're talking about in general, because we know what 25% of African Americans don't have their father in the house. What do you see? Do you think these guys out here is worth dating the way they're carrying on?
I think some of them are, but like some of the previous women said, and what Will Thomas is alluding to, what kind of guys are you dating? What kind of standards do you have? What kind of screening do you have? What kind of, I mean, this is going to be offensive, but the young guys wear their pants halfway down. If you date anybody that's got his pants halfway down, you deserve everything you get. That's wrong, because that's stupid.
Okay.
You get whatever you get with that.
Jimmy, can you hang around for a minute?
Yeah, I'll hang around, man.
All right, we're gonna put you in the queue, and we're gonna get a captain in there, and also Cynthia. If I see you still in the queue, would you want to come on and help us out? Let's get let's see. We'll try. You want to come back on? Cynthia, give me a head nod if you want to help us out with it. Okay, we'll get her back on, and we're gonna get Captain Melanated, and then we're gonna get Social Climate next, and then Swanee. We'll get y'all together.
Said put both, or
put Cynthia and Captain on.
Right. Okay. Captain, we gotta put some respect on it. It's Captain Mayonnaise.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's about to be some smoke in the city.
The one and only.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what you want to comment on?
Oh, ladies first. Chivalry ain't dead. Let her speak, because I got a lot to say.
Oh no, we coming for you. She already spoke.
Okay. First and foremost, I was raised by a great black man, my father. For 26 years, he showed me how to properly love a black woman. And guess what? At the end of the day, he still got shitted on. So now that could have changed my whole perception on a black woman, but it didn't, because I did not meet every black woman, so I had to learn myself. Now, they say the black man is damaged goods. You're correct. Yes, we are. And what I'm getting, they saying the white man's already put together, and they right, because he's put in a situation in the system where he's designed to win. So you don't get no kudos for that. You didn't earn that. We got to earn everything we do. And they say, he's put together. Put him, this white man, in any black man, the average black man situation, and this is facts. Soon as they get fired, what they do? They shoot up the whole place or kill their whole family. That is the sign of a weak man. So how can he protect you, black woman? when he show you he's a weak man. And then they saying like they don't want to deal with the street dudes or because they got to work on them. The biggest gangsters in America is in the White House and on Wall Street, and they wear not Crip rags and blood rags. They wear business suits and briefcase. Them is the biggest gangsters.
Yeah.
Now, perfect example. I'm going to Chipotle to go get my food. I see 2 black women coming in. I hold the door for them. They turn around and say, "Period, boo." Like, what?
What they say?
Like, period, boo. There's a lot of ratchet ass shit that goes on. And just like they said, we got to show them, we're worth marrying. Y'all got to show us too. Y'all worth marrying. And that bull crap, opposites attract, Noah likes attract. I don't know several females to trap black men, white men, even females. And it ain't work. So it might be you, baby girl. Because when you dig in the trash, you pull out garbage.
Shots fired.
So it's like they want to blame this, that. And, when you see your dad going above and beyond and still get cheated on and shitted on and talked to crazy, that's wild to see. But I didn't hold that against every woman in the world. And that's what they do to us, most of them. Like, their bad experience with a certain type of dude. We pay for every dude they dated before. Every dude they dated before. And you can't, as a man, excuse my language, there's one set of nuts in the house. Once you start dropping your nuts, what am I there for? What do you need me for? And the problem is they're taking over the man's job like they're the man of the house. And like, so what are we needed for? Like, we got to build each other up. This is a partnership. I got this. I was showed how to love a black woman. I got this. Don't put the weight load on the last dude you dealt with that wasn't nothing. You already coming in like I'm just like him and they ain't even met me or you talked to me yet. And we pay for everybody they dated. And that's not fair.
Man, that sounds like a Tyler Perry film. Cynthia, what you got to say about what Captain Mayonnaise said?
Well, a lot of that is true, basically what he was saying, but at the same time, he's saying it seems like from his perspective of what he's gone through. We all have experiences in relationships, but the question is black men worth dating? Are they or are they not? Yes, they are. But at the same time, you have to make a decision of those that you allow to come in your life. Every man that asks you to date them or every woman that come in, because the men gonna come, they coming after us. Ain't no way that I'm gonna go ask a man to date me. Now you coming for me, and when you come for me, you're gonna have to put on the whole armor. You're gonna be suited up, because I'm not settling for less, and I don't want to hear that garbage about what you've been through. We all been through something. But the thing of the truth of the matter is, you got to deal with the truth. The truth is, it don't matter what you've been through, your experience, whatever you've been through. But when we come to the table together, you ask me out.
So, I can dig that. And I don't.
The truth of the matter is, with men, don't ask me out if you ain't ready for the whole haul. Cause don't ask me out. Don't play with me. Because you bring it to the table. We bring it to the table together at the same time, but you asked me out. So if you asked me out, it had to be something in me that you like, right? Yes.
Facts.
So the thing about it is, don't come at me if I didn't call you and think you're going to have stuff with me. Don't come for me, because I'm a real woman. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of men ain't used to a real woman. They're used to women that's not independent. They're used to you telling them everything to do. Yes, I'm very submissive to the right man, but I'm not ever going to be submissive to the wrong man. And the wrong man is that man coming in and think he going to just take over and do what he want to do when he want to do it in the house. No, we got to love one another the same. If I tell you, baby, I need this, and you can't do it, just tell me the truth. Be honest, because what you can't do for me don't make you less than a man. But if you lie to me, that make me not want to even trust you.
Yeah, the trust is done. Yeah, the trust is done.
It's a big issue with black men and women. But the thing about this, if that woman, if she go after that man, guess what? She get what she get. Because one thing about it, she ain't got no business out there looking for no man, because the man find you.
Exactly.
Now, if you come to me and ask me out, and then you have stuff and waste my time, you need a whooping of a lifetime. Because if you can't fit the shoes, then don't come up trying to act like you can do all this and that.
What city you in?
Hold on. Keep rolling. Give me 1 second, Cynthia. Let Captain answer. Go ahead.
What city you in, Cynthia?
I'm in Bainbridge.
I'm about to come scoop you up. We need more of you out here. I'm about to come grab you down. Woo, that's a black woman right there.
Yeah, good stuff, Cynthia. Anything you want to add, Captain?
Oh, I'm gonna stick around for this next part. Oh, I'm gonna stick around.
All right, we appreciate it, man. We're gonna put you in the queue. I'm looking forward to hearing Social Climate. Hold on 1 second. Let's let's get Social up here. Bam! It's cracking, dude.
What's up, fellas?
Oh, we gotta give you the proper introduction. Let's go. This dude, I'll be watching your stuff, man. You got some good stuff on your social climate. Let's put Social Climate on our banner, man, because people gotta check him out.
Check me out.
Yes. What you want to add to the conversation? You can talk about anything you want. We're talking about the cancel culture. We're talking about the black men.
I mean, I could jump in. We can get back to some of the other topics, but hey, this is a good one right here. Oh my. Yeah, is a black man worth dating? Woo. You guys remember that game? Oregon Trail?
I don't.
I do.
You remember that game, Oregon Trail? Any of you guys ever played that game? It was an old computer game before the computer was still in the DOS system. It was like the green numbers.
With Turtle.
Yeah, and you can play a little game. It was called Oregon Trail, right? So the object of the game was to get the wagon, and you'd be able to get stuff that you could get for your wagon. You decide what you want, and then they'd give you a family, and then you'd be going to the Old West. I'm not sure if it was the 1800s, but it was supposed to be back in the day before the West got settled, right? So you would have to go across this dangerous journey, across the Oregon Trail with your family, and eventually get to a land that you could settle and make a settlement, right? A settlement of land. So English is very funny. You know, I always talk about etymology. So what does it mean to settle? Like, so from that game when I was young, I thought settling used to be good, okay. It used to be okay to make a settlement. Like Papa was a Rolling Stone. Papa would never settle, right? But settling wasn't really necessarily a bad thing. Now settling means that you have to have had somebody that wasn't worth it. When actually the definition of settlement is to stop the journey finally because you're ready to build on a foundation on firm ground.
Okay.
So that's what a settlement is, right? If you look up a settlement in the definition, it's not going to say you got somewhere you didn't like it, so you just had to stay here because there was nothing else better. It's this is who we're going to be, and this is who we are. And I think that's what's wrong with our community nowadays is, man, we just bastardized everything, even the way we look at everything. So on Oregon Trail, right, you would go on, okay, you might start the journey. You might have to build a little bridge to cross the river, right? Thomas, you with me? Sometimes y'all have to cross the river. Sometimes some food will fall out. They'd be like, okay, you lost half the food for the journey. Do you want to give up or do you want to keep going? Right? So now you as a team, you and your partner, y'all getting in some tough times. Maybe the man ain't making the money like some women say, you know, you come and you don't got enough money, I'm gone. Well, in that part of the game, whoever was on that team, their journey was over. So you got some other people that say, you know what? I still think this is a good man or this is a good woman despite this mistake this hurdle we got. We're going to keep going on our journey. So now you're going on a journey, right? And then you encounter some other issues. Sometimes even it would be bad. They'll say your kid got pneumonia and your kid died. Sometimes that ends the journey, right? But
all this on the game?
All this was on the game, man. It was crazy.
They had kids playing this?
This was in the 80s, 88, 89. Some of you guys listening, man, if you ever played Oregon Trail, man, drop something on there, let them know about the game. Look, you would choose if you could some choices, if you could decisions to make to try to handle obstacles that would come in your way that the computer would give you. But the ultimate goal was to get to Oregon and settle, right? So the problem is we're getting in wagons with people that we don't want to settle with from the jump. We're just playing games.
Wow.
So when we get to the point where we make a settlement, we feel like we don't want to be in that place with that person. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're loading your wagon, that's the courting process. That's when you teach your children, okay, this is how you look for a right good man, daughter. This is how you become a good man for your woman. This is how you court a woman. You know, like she was saying, the woman ain't going to chase the man, but she got to know how to choose the right man. She got to know how to choose the right wagon to go on for the journey. So both sides have something to say on that. And then another problem is that when we get to the end of the journey, quite often, sometimes, the object of the game is to get to Oregon. It's the Oregon Trail, so you can find open land in Oregon where you can have grasslands, have a farm, and then have establish a settlement. Your own land, your own family, what you could do for you and yours and your partner. Some people get to Oregon, jump off the bandwagon and start going to Alaska because they're looking for Eskimos. They didn't want to get to Oregon.
Wow.
They didn't want to settle in Oregon in the first place. They just wanted to enjoy the journey.
So you're saying you want to enjoy the journey, you just go out there and not settle, you just go out there and do your thing?
Some men do, and some women do, ultimately, now, because the women's movement has led to where progressively a lot of women are thinking and operating like men. This is what stuff Kevin Samuels be talking about. You know, you wait till you date, what is it, a hot girl summer? You taking, instead of going to Oregon, you taking trips to Cali first. You want to stop in Cali, right?
That's funny. That's right.
So all this stuff is happening, and then these are some of the things that upset us to stop us from our ultimate journey, which is to find the right partner, if you want to have a partner, and actually make a settlement instead of settling.
Hey, I like that. I like how you twisted that. Real quick, Cynthia, you want to add to anything or?
No, pretty much. He went down with the game crew. He did pretty good with the game.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Social Climber, do you believe in arranged marriages like these other cultures?
I wouldn't be here probably without some form of arranged marriage. I'm from Cameroon, West Africa. So
Shout out
I
to
don't believe it and I'm here. I think for certain cultures, if that's what they practice, there's nothing wrong with it. If you look at the marital rate, they stay married longer. Now, I don't think anyone should be trapped in a situation where they're being abused or anything. But quite oftentimes, there's abuse on both sides. Men don't often abuse. So when you look at someone saying they're abused, quite oftentimes we don't look at how much abuse they've caused as well, because men don't complain about abuse. When you look at arranged marriage, I think we didn't have a choice when we were slaves. Because when we had children, I don't know if you had the option of abortion. I think that was in control of the white man, if you even got to keep your baby. So these are things in American culture. When you look at the slavery situation, there was no such thing as not wanting my child. You were fighting to be with the man, fighting to be married, right? Because you weren't allowed to. So they valued it a lot more. When slavery ended, our families were not getting divorced. Women knew that the men were disenfranchised and they couldn't get anything. And they loved them anyway. Like people joke about how the Hispanic women, the Hispanic man, he'd be a window wiper and she'll marry him and give him 5 kids. Right? Because she knows the ultimate goal is for the family to survive and move on. I think we've lost some of our goals as to what is important. And so everybody's more thinking about themselves instead of thinking about procreation, having community wealth, residual income, generational health.
You seem like a really, really, really educated brother. Are you married?
I was married for 7 months.
Hold on, man. There might be a red flag here, man. What's going on, man? 7 months. Let's talk to it. Talk to us.
Yeah, I think I got with somebody
Perfect timing.
that we didn't have the same ideology and belief system, and that doesn't always get in the way for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But depending on who, some people get married, you could be a Protestant, they could be a Jew, or you could be, they could be Catholic, you could be Presbyterian, and it's okay. But some people, they get together and how they were brought up just doesn't work. I was brought up in a 2-parent home, so I seen my parents go back and forth. 40-some years they've been married. I seen all kind of stuff, right? But they never got off that wagon. They kept going all the way to Oregon, all the way from Cameroon, West Africa, to the United States of America. Right? My dad came to America first. He got lucky and got lottery and got here. My mom could have hitched off the wagon and got with somebody else and took me and my brother, and we could have been with some other man and some other family.
Hey, where are the white women at?
They wasn't in Africa. So my dad could have got him in America, though. He could have wrote my mom a letter like, look, I want America. Where the white women at? But he worked hard, and my mom trusted him, and he raised enough money to buy her ticket there.
That's dope.
And then she came, and then my brother was still like, right? So I'm just saying all this to say that, man, like, I was from that kind of environment, whereas the partners that I chose, who was more than one, so that way I don't want no names, got nothing to do with nothing. They actually were in situations where their parents were married. So they looked at how to raise a child from an individualistic perspective. I need to do this. This is what I want to happen. This is not about flaws, but this is just about styles. So they didn't really learn how to work with somebody or see their parents work with somebody to raise a child. Their parents were the sole controller of all the rulemaking.
Have you ever, real quick, have you ever dated anybody who was African in one of the countries in Africa? And if you did, what's the difference that you see in Americanized women and African?
I think the world is so small now because of the social media and the internet and all TV and entertainment that man, you can catch hell no matter where you're at, man.
Wow.
You go to Nigeria right now, Lagos in the capital city. They making movies. Their rappers own the cars. They're not renting them. So money is money. It don't matter where you are in the world. They just never show you the money part of Africa. They only show you the woods and the butt naked people.
Oh wow. Cynthia, you want to add to anything to that, or?
I want to ask them a question. Did you choose your wife?
Did I choose my wife?
Yes.
All men choose their wives because we get on our knees and propose unless the women propose.
No, I'm saying, did you choose your wife or was it arranged?
I got on my knees and proposed to her. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let me just add a little bit to that social climate, because Cynthia asked a great question about did you choose your wife? When you were choosing your wife, what were the things that you were looking for in a mate?
When I was choosing my wife, about 10 years ago when I met her, 13 years ago, maybe. Let's say about 12, 13 years ago. Okay. At that point in my life, I would look at your spirituality, your personality, of course, what you look like if I'm attracted to you. Okay. She was a Christian woman. She had an educated, familiar background. We grew up in the same city. Okay. These are some of the top layers of the onion, right? Because she was a Christian woman and she had what I thought is similar values as me, I was willing to put aside the fact that she was raised in a single parent home. I was willing to overlook that. I didn't really dig into that to ask what she would have long term and what she would want in the family, how she did parenting, create simulations where we talk about what could happen if the scenario happened, how will we handle it? What would you like? What would be your role as the wife? What would be my role as the husband? Okay. Back then when I was younger, I just went with, okay, I'm a Christian, she's a Christian. I got education, intelligent, I got drive, I work. She got intelligence, she's education, she drives, she work. Okay. We from the same kind of community. I'm attracted to her. So a lot of times we get stuck on that first layer because it's scary to dig deeper and ask the real questions, because that part, you might lose them. You start asking questions, you might find the answers to what you want. And maybe those answers will scare them away. Or
you brought out a big part, man.
What's the learning experience?
Well, the part that you brought out was the part in regards to was she raised, in a single parent household or with two parents? And we know that things can work out either way, but a lot of times we don't even ask the question.
We don't ask the question
at all. So just like, so the topic, of course, is, are black men, worth dating? And, because, best believe we got the topic coming in the future in regards to the black women. Don't think y'all off the hook. But tonight, since we're talking about the black men, we have to, also, or ladies, y'all have to look at that right there. Are they coming from a single parent household? Because the black men that you're talking about, most of the dogs and stuff like that, most of the cats that are out playing and disrespecting the women, the majority of them are coming from a single parent household. Not all of them, but there are statistics linked to it. Poverty's linked to it. Criminal activities linked to it. So we have to, look at those aspects. And a lot of black people don't even really look in the future past their own situation because we're so focused on right now. But when we get to the point where we peel under that first layer, go into that second layer, and sometimes if that question, gets answered of of something to where you end up finding out something, and you lose them, maybe it was worth losing. But just like I think it was, I don't know if it was Lynn. Yeah, Lynn. Lynn had said earlier, that person, she wouldn't even let them in, to her life. And then later on, that person ended up changing. So, we have to look at the fact that, sometimes
that's rare though, man. That's a Tyler Perry movie. They never do part 2 of Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying?
But can I inject something?
Yes, you may.
Okay, he said something about coming from a single parent home and all of this. Well, it would seem like that if a person comes from a single parent home, it seemed like it was in their mindset. They know what they went through in that single parent home. It seemed like at some point they would want to change for the better and say, I don't want this in my home.
Okay.
But it seemed like it doesn't happen that way. I'm just saying, it seemed like it never happened that way. But I'm just throwing it out there that it seemed like, even with me, I was raised in a 2-parent home, but it was broken.
Yeah.
So it seemed like, I'm throwing it out there because it seemed like at some point in our minds, we would grasp that I was in a bad situation in a home, or I was in a single home, and I don't want my children to be in this situation. But at some point, it seems, and it shows that doesn't happen. It seems like what you this is what my saying is a lot of times, what you breathe is what you live. Because if I breathe in a single home and that's all I know, it seems like it should have broke off at some point that, okay, I don't want to be raising my child in a single home. But at some point that doesn't happen. It seems like what we lived in, it happens to us, and it's like it's nothing we can really do about it. Because if it's not there, it's not there.
Powerful. That's a generational curse type of thing that you're talking about. That's always out in the black community because we want to do better. A lot of us know the problems we struggle with, and we want better, but we end up caught up in the same scenarios, the same struggle over and over again. Like, I'll give you an example. I was looking at, I'm raising my son. I'm a single parent. So although my parents were married, I'm dealing with the fact that I don't know how many generations of people in my family have been married in a row. But I'm a deep thinker. It was crushing me during my divorce because I'm like, okay, I'm going to be divorced. I'm not going to be married. Everybody else in my family raised their children married. How do I do this? How do I raise my son as a single? I don't even know how to do it, right? So I got to go about living differently. I've always thought about stuff as doing stuff with a partner, right? So now I'm watching my son grow up, and I'm worried about simple things with my deep mind. Like, okay, I want to see my son see me loving a woman properly. I mean, because there's different roles. I know how he loves grandma. He sees me love grandma, but he needs to see me love a woman. So he knows how to love a woman, because he may grow up and copy me, like my lady's saying over here. Now that I'm a single dad, he's watching how I'm rolling. He loves me. He looks up to me. He's going to say, maybe that's the way to do. Mom and dad, I know they made me. That's what the fairy tales say, is that a baby came, but mom over here and dad over here, this is the way it's supposed to be. So now he's going to go up. Is he going to think, because we're doing the best to make it, to normalize it for him. So now we're creating a situation where he grew up normalized in a separated home. Will he even want to be married ever?
That's a good question.
Is he going to believe in the institution of marriage? So I don't talk about other people when I'm not judging anyone. I mean, when I'm talking about single parent home, because raising my son as a single father, and I got to deal with that.
Real quick, we're gonna I'm gonna put Swanee on with us real fast if he's still available. A second. Swanee.
What's going on, brothers?
Legend.
And I see my sister up there, Miss Cynthia. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, we I don't know if you've been watching, but we're having a conversation about, is black men worth dating? Social Climb, I wanted to ask you, now, I'm assuming you're in the age between late 30s and 40s range.
Yes.
Is it hard to date being an educated single guy right now? And then the second question I want to ask is, have you dated uneducated women and educated women, and what's the difference between that in your opinion?
Dating times right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, grind. I got 2 jobs. I'm starting a nonprofit. I do mentoring, and I got a young man. So, I have young ladies that I speak with, but I'm not running around dating. I'm not running around chasing women. I just don't have the time. So, in the course of me doing what I meet a young woman that meets what I'm looking for, and she's under God, and she understands what I understand. Then we can take it that route. But right now, if I go out and have a drink with somebody and we chop it up, that's cool. If somebody want to invite me over, bake me a meal, or they want to come over here, I don't have much time. I may have like an hour, and I'm going to another job. Then I'm typing this up. Then I got this meeting going on. So I really don't have a lot of time to date. I would like to travel and go outside of the city to date, honestly, because it's a small city.
Yeah.
I need a lot more variety. So, but as far as dating,
you said variety?
Yes. Pittsburgh doesn't have a lot of variety. Keep it real. I mean, like groups, diversity. I'm not even gonna go into black and white. There's people among us that may not be black and white, but still look at them as colored people. And we still look at them from our family and our group of people. So I'm not necessarily meaning like European or anything like that. But as far as date, rich or poor, I think it depends on how the woman was raised. But what I've gone through is I always pay for dates and stuff, no matter if the woman's got rich or not. That's how I was raised. I open the door, I pay for the date, and they can get a free meal sometimes because I'm paying for that first date. So that's just how I was raised, right? So, but what I saw is that sometimes poor women are more humble and they're willing to do things for you, and they're willing to listen to you more because they're not looking to jump over you for hypergamy because they see you as the breadwinner already.
Wow.
Hypergamy thing isn't there. You get that immediate respect sometimes from a woman who may not be as rich, but she still knows she got to bring some role to the relationship.
Do you think they're more? You think they're more submissive than a person who's highly educated and they got all this stuff going on? In your opinion?
I think it may be easier to get what you may want from them if you're trying to manipulate them. Honestly,
you said manipulation. Continue.
Yeah, because they may not have as much. When a woman has a lot for herself, she's looking for you to come in the door. You're going to have to prove something of value. First thing is you got to is going to have to make more money than her, unless she was raised in such a way where she accepts the woman's role and understands what her role is in the relationship. Right? Then it don't matter how much money she makes, because you got the nurturing situation, you got the birthing situation, you got the roles. Like the lady said, man, you gotta know your role. Do things, make the money, what I'm saying, take care of the house, cut the grass, certain things that men do. So women are starting to say that they can have money and still play the woman's role. I'm waiting and I'm watching and I'm seeing if there are women out there. I don't want to say there are no women out there that do that.
Well,
hold on real quick. Give me 1 second. Cynthia.
Yes, I do want to piggyback on that.
I want to hear what you got to say.
Yes, he said that he said women that are like more poor is more like submissive is what he was saying. But you could take a little. That woman that you saying that don't have much money or whatever, and she's more submissive, or she's more you can easily manipulate or whatever. It's because in her mind she has low self-esteem, because you're looking at a woman that ain't always had much, and I can take a little and make a lot. It's not the amount of money you make; it's where you put the money at. If you know you got a light bill due, it's $100, and you got $30 in your hand. Don't tell me you're gonna go to the store and spend that $30 when you can add to it. You take a little bit, and whatever you have, we put together, and then we can make it. But woman that don't have a lot, that has a low self-esteem, you might can manipulate and do whatever, or you might can cause her to be more submissive. But if she know what her value is, it don't matter. You give me 2 pennies, I rub them together, make 200. You gotta have a mindset of trying to have something. It doesn't matter what the money is, because I'm a woman that came from nothing to something, and I took what I had, and that's how I build. Because one thing about a woman, if you don't help me to set up the building, don't try to sit in the building.
Say it again, sister. Say it again.
If you don't help me set up my place of value in a building, don't try to come and sit in it.
I agree.
Josh fired.
That's why I said it matters on how you're raised, and you can a woman who's poor, but if there's raised properly, you're not going to be able to manipulate her. I agree with her 100%.
Okay.
See, the problem is we have a lot of men that want to date, and black men are worth dating, but that woman got to have herself totally together to deal with a black man.
Why you say that?
Because if she don't have confidence in herself and high self-esteem, and she have a low self-esteem, because a man will do just what he want to do to a woman that let him. You can't do no more to that woman than she allow you to do. And one thing I can tell you about in a relationship, sometimes you're not going to do more than what that person allow you to do, because you're going to try. Everybody try to do something to see what they can get. And when you try something, and if you can't get what you, he said, oh, this woman ain't nothing easy to deal with. So he'll try another road. He'll try another way. But when he still can't break what this woman going through, he'll value her more.
Okay.
All right. Well, were you about to say? I was going to ask. I'm
to
go in.
One rule.
I mean, seemed like you were going to say something. Social climate. You want to respond to that?
Well, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Before you do that, so everybody play their sad music in their head. I'm gonna show y'all something while I'm reading this. Okay. This is kind of the inspiration for the conversation. Okay, 1 second. And actually, in the future, we're going to have this young lady up. Can you make it full screen, Ron?
Yeah. Best I could do. Let me take that thing up, the banner off. All right.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm gonna just read this. Remember, listen to the sad music. So I used to dance with this black girl at Blush that just married a billionaire, and I'm so happy for her. I cried looking at her wedding pictures. I cried tears of joy watching a man give her her dreams. She had on millions of dollars worth of Tiffany's jewelry. Her wedding was over $1 million. I can't do a good girl's voice. I'm so happy and blessed I met a woman like that. In life, I'll never be with another black man in my life after I saw this wedding. I just remember her always saying, if you talk to black men, you will be poor. I never understood what she meant till I saw her wedding. I will wait. I will be patient. God will send me my billionaire white husband. Now, this is a young lady who she's actually going to come on a show in the future. It was kind of last minute. She wasn't able to make it tonight, but that's what kind of inspired the conversation. What do y'all, whoever wants to answer, what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, wow. You want to go, Swanee?
Yeah, let me jump on this real quick. Because let me say this. I don't care how much money a man got, how much money a woman got. Ain't none of that money gonna get you into heaven. Ain't none of that money gonna get you closer to God.
Shots fired.
At all. Okay, what's gonna get you closer to God? What's gonna get you closer to God is a heart for Him. If you fear Him. There's too many people out here chasing that money like it's gonna get them somewhere. Money is only a temporary situation. It's not a permanent fix. It's temporary. Okay, for that moment. It's not a permanent fix. Love, truth, and happiness in our Creator is the most important thing on the planet Earth. Period. Now, I understand, everybody chasing this money, billionaires, you got these celebrities marrying these billionaires. And see, the problem is social media. The problem is television. The problem is all these news channels and TV, period. Because what they see, they're raised by what they see on TV. They think Will Smith and Jada Pinkett is the standard for marriage. Nah, I don't think so. They think Eve marrying this billionaire is the standard for a relationship. Nah. Social climate, his mother and father, that's a standard for a marriage and relationship. What they've been through. That's resilient. And back to I would just want to mention this real quick. Are black men worthy of dating? Listen, the black man, okay, that's the so-called black men as they call us. We're the most resilient man on the face of this earth. Period.
Tell him, Swan.
Okay, there's no other man, no other creature like us. We were built for this. You know what I mean? So with that said, are we worth dating? Listen, you got to be an FOOL to not date us because we here. We out here.
I don't know, man. I see a lot of ain't crap dudes out here. I don't know, man. 2021, man.
Man, listen, there's a whole lot of crap women, crap men. It don't even matter. The truth of the matter is that we out here. You know what I mean? We representing, for all of us. You know what I mean? Because it's sickening and sad. It's sad that we got some of our people looking at Will Smith and Jada Pinkett like they're the standard. They're saying, "Oh well, okay, open relationship." Open relationship is a pathway towards destruction. Okay, you can't have an open relationship and think you're going to get something good out of it. But the problem is with that is that everybody sees it. Our children see that. Okay, back in the day, as I said before, we were influenced by our parents and our grandparents. This generation is influenced by social media, their school teacher, the school system, CNN, Fox News, and everybody else. They're not influenced by their parents anymore, and that's the problem.
Deep.
Yeah. Well, I would say this: ever since the man is out the house, the woman makes the child. Because we're talking about men, but both kids in their own image and not God's, right? So they have a lot of them have a hate for you hear a lot of it, like when women come out and they'll say, I ain't gonna let nobody do that to me like they did that to like my dad did to my mom, or all these relationships coming in. So I mean, I feel sorry for people who dating right now because they have an uphill battle because of that. Because a lot of them, I call it the Tyler Perry syndrome. The first movie's good, but they ain't see the second movie when they fighting and and break up and the dude go to jail. Maybe Daddy's Little Girl is the second season of that. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Don't know. Now let me ask you a question. So since we're talking about this, when's the proper age to try to get married if you're in a relationship? Young or 20s, early 20s, 30s, 40s? Anybody can answer.
Again, that all depends on the community. Now we got to think about this. It's very important. Back in slavery, we were a community. Although we were enslaved, we were a community. After slavery, we were more of a community, and marriage levels were at the highest ever. Okay, but we know, unfortunately, that was dismantled. Of course, all the black massacres in this country, over 100 in this country, that's dismantled the black family. So it all depends on the culture and the community. Right now, everybody is scattered everywhere. Okay, we got some people live in the community, some people don't. And the truth of the matter is, now with internet, everybody's internet dating. Okay, which is the biggest takeaway from in-person relations. Period. So that's the biggest takeaway from it. Nobody's going out to the penny store or the pool hall because there is no pool hall. Nobody's going to the rec center because there is no rec center. Nobody's going to the hoop court because the hoop court ain't there. Nobody's going to to the playground because the playground's tore up. The problem is that we're not interacting face to face anymore. It's more so internet interaction, and that's the problem. That's the biggest takeaway. So when you talk about age and what's a proper age to get married, that's up in the air nowadays because people are even dating now in their 50s and 60s for the first time. Okay, because of the access and convenience of the internet. If that person in the 50s and 60s were planning on dating somebody, they would have to get up off their couch, go outside, walk down the community, hope to see somebody at the post office or Costco's or wherever you might meet somebody to find somebody or see somebody that you might be interested in. So the proper age, it all depends on education of self, know who you are, know the history of your people. That's very important. And ask as much questions as possible to your parents and grandparents and great-grandparents if they're still living, because they have some history to tell you that needs to be passed down to understand when the proper time is to get married. Now, we're in a society that everybody's forced to go to college, right? So some people say after college, people should get married. But again, that all depends on the focus of the two individuals. Now, if the individual's focus is money, number one, if their first focus is money, then you may have some issues. If their first priority is not God, then I don't know what to say after that. Because if God is your first priority and you get two people to come together in God, period, then you can get married in your 20s and be ready because you're spiritually mature.
All right.
Okay, at that moment.
Swanee, I don't know if you heard earlier, but Cynthia stated that she grew up in the church and she kind of got pressured into getting married in the church. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, Cynthia.
In generations earlier, the church was right, but as time passed, you gotta know as far as your spiritual side. When you go into church, like when I was first in the church, when I joined and got saved and gave my life to Christ, I met a man, and I was pressured into marriage because no fornication, don't commit adultery, you can't do this, you can't do that. But on the other side, the flip side of that was everybody in the church that's telling you what to do, they weren't living right. Pastors cheat. You got women in the church really trying to get God, falling out, and the men, which were deacons, taking them to the back and filling on them, all kind of stuff. So you can't stay spiritually unless you know God for yourself, because that spiritual side is the inner man in you. You can't go to church and say, okay, this is the right thing to do. You got to know God for yourself. Spiritually, I was forced into a marriage there, and then the flip side of that was, okay, you get what you get. You married, You thought you was married for all the right reasons, but then everything goes downhill. Because what you don't know, the unknown is the scary part. There's a lot of unknown. When you're trying to do that which is right according to man, the unknown part is what you don't know anything about. But that spiritual side, unless you know God for yourself and know what you're getting into, that's how I was able to hold a marriage together. Why? Because that spiritual side of me was to do that which is right in a marriage. But you can't make a person love you. You can't make a person do what's not in them. You can marry today and that paper don't mean nothing unless you got God first and the two of you are ready to do this on your own.
Good stuff. Social Climb, you want to add to that? Or?
Yeah. Ultimately, I definitely agree that you got to understand who God is and what He wants you and your woman. And when you get a woman that understands, what her role is, what God wants for you, okay, then y'all can get in that wagon and make it to the Oregon. Right. Ultimately, my goal is to find a woman who understands our mythological or historic history, understands where we are presently, and understands where God wants us to go, understand what God has my role is and what God has her role is. Regardless if I make more money, she make more money, or whatever circumstance we're in, we can understand that, and we can understand the plight of what's happening to us as a people. Okay, we want to develop a way to make sure our family don't suffer as much as we did, and we're living for God. That's my woman.
Good stuff. Cynthia, I'm gonna put you in the queue. I really appreciate your your expertise on and everything, but we're gonna kind of switch topics real quick.
Okay.
And I'll put you in the queue one moment. All right. So real quick, man. I don't know how long you guys got. I know you're pretty busy. Just let me know. But we're going to change gears real fast. I would like to get your opinion on this. The lessons learned from the Dave Chappelle and Jon Gruden situation. Anyone want to start first? You go.
I'm the only one that ain't seen it yet.
Okay. So what we'll do is Swanee, you know a little bit about it? Okay.
Man, listen. Hey, if you want me to talk, I'll talk a little bit. If you want to show something, I'm cool either way.
I heard all about it.
Go ahead, Swanee. You talk.
Well, listen. Dave Chappelle is an independent thinker, like I am. A lot of his comedy is a lot of truth in his comedy, and he spoke on it. Now, we know we live in a society where censorship is at an all-time high. Okay, let me give you an example, and this is a complete contradiction and hypocrisy. We can make a rap song or sing and talk about killing another black man, calling him an N-word every single day. There's no outrage at all, and it's okay. But the moment you mention LGBTQ in any shape or way, shape, or form, then there's outrage everywhere. And that's a problem. Now, you got to understand, spiritually, where this is coming from. You got to understand, why this is happening. A lot of people they're not aware of what's happening, why it's happening. But we're living it right now. Okay. And this is the transformation in this new world order system that's being created, as we speak. Okay. And so, with Dave Chappelle as a comedian speaking on it, now, again, he can say the N-word. He says the N-word more than anybody. Okay. And that's fine. And the problem is there's so much sensitivity around, the LGBTQ because of the big donors like George Soros and all these other elitists who's pushing this propaganda to make it seem like, this is normal. Now, today, people are calling evil good and good evil, and that's the problem. So, when Dave Chappelle is speaking his comedy and what he said about the trans part, the one trans person said, he enjoyed his comedy, he went too far. it doesn't make any sense. But that same person don't have no outrage about us being shot and killed on the street every single day. That's the problem. That's the hypocrisy that I'm talking about.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you, Swan. I mean, it's just, and for people watching it, because a lot of times we have these conversations like, I think racism has died down. No, man, it's worse than it ever was. And all these type of conversations. But when he takes something like what the LGBT community is going through and how they got their answers for what they're going through so quickly, then he takes the black struggle and compares it next to that, you really get to see, if you're paying attention, what's going on in America. And he did it in such a sharp, intelligent, brilliant way by using comedy. Dick Gregory a lot of times does that with his comedy also. He uses the platform to kind of give you ironic scenarios where you can kind of get a life lesson from it. And man, it was beautiful, I think, how he did it. I can't wait to watch it, actually. I've heard so much about it. So I've been, I'm sure there's gonna be some parts I'm like, okay, right. But the idea for him to talk about how the different community other than African American community, different demographic group, was able to get their rights and laws passed over so quick. And then you look at it now, we're passing up. Now we're talking about institute, and they're talking about abortion now, right? They're talking about the schools and what curriculum's coming into school. It's like they were so many things happened. We didn't talk about 400 years of slavery in 2020, 2019. It's like the world has been going absolutely nuts. I was thinking 3-4 years ago we're gonna be talking about potential reparations, them bringing up what's happened in the history of our people. And then what they happened, they also took the idea that we're starting to come into our knowledge and made it a social joke. They call it being woke. Made it a social joke. They call it being woke. Now they say, now they talk about you like you're stupid or you're a joke if you say that it's woke culture. Now, anytime the black man tries to get intelligent and tell the world about what's happening to him, God made us so that people copy us. We brought rock and roll. We brought soul music. We brought this and that, and it gets taken. So if we start talking about our plight, guess what the rest of the world is going to start doing? They're not going to answer our plight. They're going to start talking about their plight.
Ooh.
Okay? And so the only people we have to save us is us.
Man.
And that's what's so deep about what Dave Chappelle's saying. Like, respect us. He's talking to us. Wake up. Nobody's going to save you.
If you watch right now, share this right now, and also subscribe and leave the comments. Leave the comments on there, man. So when they watch it later, they can add to it. Man, Will, what you got to say about it?
Man, there's definitely a lot in there, but yeah, he's absolutely right. Did you watch? You said you didn't watch the Chappelle one, or you didn't look at the Gruden stuff yet?
I heard about the Gruden stuff. I just heard about the comments. I didn't read them. I heard he was talking about, the guy's lips, all this crazy stuff. Oh man! But yeah, you can play. I'm interested in seeing, man. What you got for us?
There's not a video. That would have been great.
Oh man.
Yeah, it definitely really jumped in there.
Yeah, be up in here, but yeah, but it so with the way that it happened with the Gruden situation, it was interesting. So I'm gonna just paint the picture. The emails are being investigated by the Washington
New York Times.
Yeah, yep, New York Times, Washington football team, formerly the Redskins, and a lot of stuff's coming out now. Jon Gruden, he had said that DeMaurice Smith, NFLPA executive director, that's the NFL players. Is that their what is it called?
That's their president. That's their president.
But that's their union. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's their union president, basically. And he said he had lips the size of Michelin tires or something.
My goodness.
And he apologized. And I thought, he's going to be okay. He might go on an apology tour. They might say, he's under correction or he's getting retraining or something like that. But when it came out that he said something about Michael Sam, that's when it was over. And my thought, I have some thoughts on that. But what's your thought about that social climate, or Swanee?
That's when he started talking about.
Good.
He talked about the guy who was had a different preference sexually, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the same. That's what we're just talking about. That's the Dave Chappelle show. That's what Dave Chappelle was talking about. Go ahead, Swan. You got some?
No, buddy. Yeah, that's what he did was, he said he kind of shamed Roger Goodell. How could you let this? How could you allow this to happen in the NFL? And I think that kind of ruffled some feathers.
Can I add something to this?
Now, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
If you got something to say, I'll remember what I have to say. Go ahead.
I was basically going to say that like just kind of watch how they're handling this, because I think a lot of this stuff is little token.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I really don't even want to get too much into what Jon Gruden said, because it would do us better to give us our financial due so that we can go handle our business and people can say what they want. I'm just be honest. Say what you want. I'm not attacking freedom of speech. They're going to come after my freedom of speech.
Right.
Pay dues and let us run our communities, and we'll be all right regardless of what you say. But go ahead.
I was going to say something in terms of that. I don't care what they say. Like you said, you said it all. You said it good, but I'm gonna go a different route since you covered that part. Now my thing is, okay, if you're gonna pick, target that, then what about what Dr. Dre said in his music? Because he's going to be performing at the NFL Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
They be setting us up, man. I see the setup ahead of time. Go ahead.
Right. So it's like Snoop is performing. He had a what you call a Me Too song. It ain't fun till the homies can't have that. So why don't if you're gonna do that, then and you're looking at emails that he sent 10 years ago, you sat there and forgave Biden for what he did. So they're like picking and choosing.
Exactly.
And so, I'm for whatever they do if they want to perform. But I don't, like I said, I don't like the messing with the freedom of speech, because their whole catalog is talking crazy. But it's so interesting because they could talk about black women, black men, shoot them up. But when they talk about a gay person, it's like it's over. Your career's over. You're done. You can't work on Earth.
Just that, like that's
all hero.
So my question is, when? Because I remember Nick Cannon said something about Vlad. No, not Vlad. What did he say?
He said something about he mentioned something about the Jewish community. And they
and Vlad and his Jews cut him off. They took off because they own what, Viacom or something, Viacom. They took off his show. They neutered him, and then he's on there on TV apologizing with the rabbi. But when African Americans try to cancel Vlad, he got more subscribers. Can black people cancel somebody? That's my question for y'all.
No. However, we first must understand who controls everything. Like Viacom, we all know who owns Viacom. GE, all these big companies, corporations, we all know who owns them. Warner Brothers, Universal Studios, Sony Music Entertainment. The music industry in Hollywood, we got to understand who controls that. That's why, Laraun, to your point you said earlier, we can talk about black men all day long and degrade them. We can talk about black women all day long and degrade them. It's okay because it sells. We have to be aware of this and change that game up. Okay, we got to start being aware of this and seeing it for what it is. And that's the problem. So again, examples like boycotting type things.
Ooh.
That's a huge thing.
Real quick, somebody just said because the owners and celebrities are mostly homosexual. That's why it's going on. Wow. Yeah. So, but my question is because they know that we as African Americans spend trillions of dollars on their products, and I heard from somebody that lives in Alabama when after the bus boycott, they don't even have a bus in that city anymore. According to what I heard, I don't know how true it is. So you're saying since we don't own anything, but we're the one, everybody can't be owners. Like we're feeding their families. You mean to tell me we can't stop spending money? I mean, which I don't. It'd be far fetched. I don't know if we're going to do it because most black people don't stick together. But if we all stop spending on something, that wouldn't change anything.
We're gonna talk.
Here's the big reason behind that. If you guys could think back to people used to eat these meals, right? Back in the day, like in the Renaissance days or whatever, the medieval days, whatever, they would have a bunch of meat, a bunch of some veggies or whatever, but there'd just be a plate, a big table full of food, but one of the things that they ended up doing was they figured out that, like, hey, later on we can actually combine this stuff to be able to have it later, and that's when they ended up making the sandwich. So the clever thing that was done to be able to derail a lot of this is it's one word, and it's that thing that they call intersectionality. Because what they had figured out is that if we can make everyone feel like, hey, we're all in the bottom together, so whether if you're black, if you're LGBT, if you're disabled, if you're a woman, we're going to just pin it all together so that whenever you run into an issue, it's not that you're you, it's that you're us. And we all go down this together, and we can't really deal with your individual issue, black person, because, you're just tied in there in that sandwich, basically with us. Now,
is that tribalism? Is that or no?
No, it's called it's called an unholy bond. That's what it is.
It's a little different from tribalism.
Okay.
Yes, a lot different.
but that's what ends up keeping any type of progress from actually going, because what ends up happening is it's whoever's at the bottom of the oppression Olympics.
Yeah,
that's who gets to be able to rule everything.
You're dead on. Hey, Will, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but they just added on to the political status quo, because politically the history has been just literally ignore what the black person's asking for. Never actually say the word black. Never actually bring the what their issues are in Congress to have to even vote on it.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they did actually the past, I don't know how many decades. Right. But because of social media and the original woke culture, before they start calling intersectionality woke, like you're stating, right? We were starting to point out things. And that's when they started saying, oh, black race theory, it's coming in our schools. When actually, this was never put on to be put in the schools. The schools were looking at explicit bias. They weren't looking at the race theory. They were looking at implicit bias. I'm sorry. Okay. And so, but they scared everybody, right? And then made everybody afraid, thinking that they're going to bring all this black content into the school district. Okay. But they saw that they were not going to stop people from talking about black history or original history. Why we're led into destruction. Okay. Why we have so much of a show like this. They said we have to open the door for all those other groups to have their stuff talked about, or these people are eventually going to meet their goal and finally get their just due. So you're exactly right. This is part of the political ploy to continue to, instead of ignoring them, we'll talk about everybody else's issues. Like we're not the furthest back on the track with all the hurdles over in front of us.
Oh, they definitely doing the great replacement right now. Biden talked about it. He's like, this is a great thing that we have, that white America is shrinking. We're the minority, because if you notice, white people are never 100% on anything. That's just black people when it comes to voting. We vote 90%. They vote 50%. You know what I mean? Like there was white people fighting in the North and the South in the Civil War. During civil rights, there was white people helping. So they're never, together. So now that they're trying to get some compliant people that when they look at the census, they're not going to put black, they're going to put white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're trying to get them over here and like, we'll take care of you. You know what I'm saying? So we could just replace, because black people waking up. Black people's getting more educated now. So and when you're more educated, you get to make your own choice.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to hide that from people. You know what I mean? So they're definitely doing a great replacement right now. That's why you saw Afghanistan. They're getting the people that's going to be considered white and submissive. And then the Haitians, they took the hate, because there's Haitians. We had a guy on that works in the government, and he said there's a lot of Haitians in Harrisburg, but they're picking the ones that's going to be submissive, in my opinion. I don't have any facts to that, but you can add.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
If we know that in the Jim Crow era, in the Black Code eras, they use local politics to make these laws to put us in jail, and if you come to my neighborhood after this time of night, you get this fine, or you got to spend this time in jail, or all these laws that right? If we know that that's how they were using local politics, now that we're starting to become intelligent and understand what's going on, why aren't there more people of our age group and demographic involved in local politics where the money is in our communities and made?
I can answer that, because most people are compliant to the government. You have two ideologies. You got people who don't believe in the government, or they question stuff like us, and you got people who's compliant. They like what they're doing. There's a lot of African Americans that like what Biden is doing. You know what I mean? We talk to him every day. Just go on Facebook.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But as far as our local community, though, like we have the opportunity to go in and make certain, like that, whatever state it was where the guy said he banned the vax part. He went state level and went against what the federal government did. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're owning your community, right, and you have your local mayor, all that stuff, you can make policy at the local level.
Nobody like that. That takes leadership, though.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a power that, if we're supposed to be so many of us in certain communities and we have the power, why can't we go in there and start changing policies, lower the taxes for our homes, give programs so that we can get our own money, hire our own. Why are we not doing what they used against us in Jim Crow to make us, disfranchised? Why can't we enfranchise ourselves with local politics? Like we have all these little neighborhoods in Pittsburgh, for example, Turtle Creek, Wilkinsburg, this and that, where you can decide your own local politics.
But a lot of them believe that the local guy that starts with a D or an R is going to automatically do that. So they don't end up going to the primaries. They just wait till the the election, if they go, if they go that far, and they just hit D or R. And within our community, it's 85% plus D. So that's pretty much why, because from a young age, a lot of these people, they're being taught that, like, hey, it's the D side no matter what, because the other side, they're racist and so on, and you can't trust them. And also, if there's a third side, don't do that, because you don't want to do something different. But to go back to something you had said, Fawn, social climate.
No, you're right, Fawn, social climate.
Okay, yeah, my fault.
They got me. Go on point, Will.
But you had said about the CRT. They are not directly implementing a legal theory, into it. But what they are doing is they're adding elements. If a lot of people don't know that intersectionality, the concept of that, actually stemmed from CRT.
Yeah.
That's where it actually came from. And what they're doing is they're actually trying to implement elements of both, in there, as well as there's other stuff too.
Right.
And it's all attached. So, whenever they, go in there, like when people say we don't want CRT in the school,
yeah,
you're right. They're not, teaching from the law book. They're not teaching from, the gentleman who from Pittsburgh who picked
Derek.
Derek Bell. But what they are looking at is like certain aspects. We do need to have a full history. That's really important in regards to it. But to be able to have that full history, what has to happen is that stuff needs to be talked about at these school board meetings, and it needs to be introduced to the parents before they actually put the different things in the curriculum. And that would also go for the things that would be a concern, with the stuff that's already there. A lot of
local politics, Will.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We need to be at the school meeting, board meetings, as well as the community board meetings. Because if we was there in the 80s, we could have stopped some of the stuff they's put in the curriculum that was hurting our kids.
Right.
I think it's going to hurt their kids. You see how they're running into the board meetings?
Yeah.
That's why I think a lot of times the women ain't going to admit it. That's why a lot of black men that they think are not dateable. That was a topic, right? Because is black men still dateable? We don't own our community.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the community right now, like far as like I'm not in it, but I can just only assume. Isn't a lot of these people single moms? Where's it like a lot of these dads showing up? I mean, you're a teacher. I don't know. Like, it's a dad's.
Honest, the schools, like because of the situation of the courts, quite oftentimes when you have a broken homes, you're going to only be dealing with the mom. Okay. Right. A lot of times, like the school's not even going to contact the father unless he goes out of his way to make sure he finds the teacher and gives them his number. Even when his number's on this information, they're not going to contact him.
So my opinion, I mean, I could be stereotyping, but white women care about the school and getting education more than black women do. Like black women go to football practice.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. So if
don't even do that, they drop their kids with all the dads. Honestly,
you see, and I just think like most people, like 95% of people are followers anyway. And like Will said, they just gonna go to the polls and vote on every 4 years, but I just don't think they care.
Yeah, you're right. They don't.
They lack knowledge.
Yeah.
That D doesn't stand for Democrat. That D stands for dependency and deception.
Mm.
Okay. If they're not aware of what the D stands for and aware of this two-party system from its inception in the beginning, they will not know anything. So for generations, because of the D, we'll give you this. You just can't have that N-word in your household, pretty much. And that's how it's been done. So generations have been passed down. No matter what you do, vote blue. And now you got these baby boomer generations fighting against this generation, our generation, saying you guys are crazy. What do you mean? The Biden administration is not is dangerous. Yeah, it is dangerous. You got to understand the policies that these D's been putting in place for generations. Okay, and if you're not aware of that, of course, they're not going to teach you in school, and that's why to social climate, to my brother Fawn's point, is local politics. It's important. If we depend on our own people in the community, we can teach our kids our history and depend on one another, and not depend on no D or R.
Well, this is the thing, because like I said, like ever since your kid is 5 years old, they basically tell you to vote Democrat. They've been doing that since the Vietnam War, because a lot of these educators ducked the war, and they're really on to the left, right? So we're just dropping our kids off because we're so busy. We expect these teachers to teach these people stuff, but they're scaring them. So about the time they get to like 18, 19 years old, then they go to college. They think they know more than you do.
Yeah.
And if you're talking like a man, like, because they're so emotional. So they'll say something like this. And these is black kids, white kids, anybody who goes to the secondary education. They'll say, "You're wrong. We should care about everybody. You see what they're doing? Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of these kids are doing. I'm fighting with them myself, like a lot of these kids that in my family and stuff like that. So that's what's going on. Like we're the enemy. because we're trying to stand up for our families and be strong. That's why, like, there's a lot of beta out here.
Yeah,
Like,
look, that reminds me. Ever see that on Batman, right? Two-Face, them in the rap conversation, the D and the R conversation, right? Like Swanee said, I don't. There's some things I respect more about what the R's are saying as far as like family and tradition and stuff like that. But I'm wise to a lot of their tricks as well. They're flipping a coin that's the same on both sides. It don't matter who wins, you still gonna get the same jump from them, just like the Two-Face coin. He flips it, it's always what he wants it to be. So it don't matter if the R win, they're gonna stick black people in a specific kind of way, according to what they had planned to do for the R's. And when the D's win, they still gonna stick us on their way where they give us a whole bunch of little systems.
right. And I think either way it go, I don't think that
them, we got to depend on ourselves. Local politics, man.
You're totally right. You're totally right. But I mean, that's the hard part. I know we had some guy on a couple of weeks ago that he said he in Focusburg, he does a lot of stuff in the local community, and it's just hard to get people to change.
Right.
That's true.
Hey, as the scripture says, a man's foes is those of his own household.
Yeah.
So it's difficult as parents to try to teach our kids who are stubborn because of society is telling them we're all together. We're all in the same boat. No, our boat is drowning and we need to jump off and we need to swim and depend on ourselves.
But it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to do that. Like if you're sitting there trying to, work your business to do your job, right? They know that they can't change you. You know what I'm saying? But they can recruit. They're recruiting the kids. And we don't even know about it. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody can talk about it when you're in the school. But they have our kids for 8 hours, and then maybe even after school for 18 years. So they're recruiting, even like with the homosexual stuff. They can't have kids, right? Because we can teach our kids, but they can't have them, so they have to recruit. They have to recruit.
They chase certain type of black men out of the school districts, like Umar Johnson, like Fawn Nan, Social Climate. We're not going to put any names out there, but you can be in the schools and have a different agenda. There's a different demographic group that has a sexual agenda. You can be in the school, but if you real pro-black, like Mr. Nancy Social Climate, they will chase you out that school district. So what we got to do is develop our own educational systems, our own tutoring centers, our own math and science facilities, okay, our own engineering.
What that goes into, you're totally right. And I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying, but it's hard to build a church. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get people to come, like even like now, we're trying to build a church here.
Right.
We'll have people lined up to talk and they will not come on.
Right.
They will not participate. You need people who's going to be, the deacons. You need people to be the ushers. They're not going to show up. They'll say it, but most people, everybody lies, man. They'll say, "Oh, that sounds good," but nobody want to put in the work.
Hey, but you know what you're doing is good. You gonna stop because they're not listening?
Oh no, I'm not
listening.
stopping. I'm not stopping, and I'm not telling anybody to stop. I'm just saying what we're talking about the present day. Why it's not happening? You know what I mean?
It's gonna take longer because they did for 300 years, 400 years. Like before, this is something that's been planned hundreds of years ago, guys. We're working on what Martin Luther and Malcolm and them worked on. They didn't give up. You feel me? So it's a different generation. Okay, they trying to kill us with our voices. They're not really killing people, but they're trying to kill your voice because the voice is the most powerful thing. God said. God spoke. He said, "Let there be light." You feel me? Nothing more powerful than the word. So what you guys?
Yeah, but you got to understand the medium. The media.
It's gonna take time.
The media, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, if someone,
your own media.
You're right, and that's what we're doing. But if you got 90% of the media, and every state you go on, they got the same 10 songs, the same movies. Like if you come down here, the same thing that we playing at 11 o'clock up there is gonna play here. Everything is programming.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's what it's called, programming.
Hey, but that's what I'm telling you. If you catch a certain group of young, and we give them the programming to properly raise a black family and develop a community, they will grow up and do it. So we can't complain about the ones that get caught by their system and their programs. We have to be happy about the success stories we have with the ones we deal with, and make sure that we're training them properly so they won't fall off to the
Well,
other
it
side.
started. This would have started. Swanee says it all the time. It starts in the house.
It starts in the house.
Yeah. And,
right. So
and the first thing first is we need that stable home, because you can have all these programs in the best schools, but
right.
somebody got to make sure they do their homework at home. You know, when you look at an Asian,
right,
they study all day. They don't play football. That's beneath them. We worried about them getting to the league when it's only less than 1% getting there. You know what I'm saying?
If you're listening out there to Lauren, he's dropping bombs because he's talking to us.
Yeah. Yeah, we focus on the wrong things, man. Like every what did they say in the Roman times? They said you give them, Caesar said it, you give them fruit and circus, they'll forget about everything. So guess what? Wait till Saturday when it's college football. Fridays, it starts on Friday, high school football. Then you got college, then you got Saturday college football. Then the pros, that's all people talk about.
Yeah.
And they're distracted while you have people in the D's and R's who making laws and their laws are what 3,000 pages.
Yeah.
So you can't read it. Like the reason why we're going through what we're going through now when it comes to the T's, the LGBT, is because what Obama put in place. Because now he made it law, and then we move on to Biden. How you do Asian hate laws? And you skip over all of us. And he told we're off the topic. I would just say this, and y'all can finish up on this. But he basically ignored Ice Cube and said, "We'll talk about that later." As soon as the Asian go up there and start pushing, signs and stuff like that, they made a law. And once they put that in law, it's over, because then they have all the cops and everybody enforce these laws. And you look at the Asians are in the black community making money off of us, and they don't live there. We all know them. I mean, we knew some that lived there, growing up, obviously, but most of them don't live in the community. They don't pay taxes in our communities. Nothing.
They don't eat at our stores.
It's not going to stop. I mean, I feel sorry. I mean, I'm not saying don't keep fighting, because there's our people. Like, shout out to y'all. Shout out to Del Rico and everybody who's really making moves, and that means something. But I'll be honest, I'm an individualist. You know what I'm saying? And it's because I'm frustrated. It's not because because like I always talk about Moses, right? And Moses tried to help his people so much where he sins because he was so frustrated at his people for not changing. He helped them get out of there, and then they keep doing what they're doing. That's just human nature, and it's very frustrating. I'm pretty sure y'all can agree, because they'll turn on you. You know how many activists got killed in their neighborhood helping? A lot of them got killed trying to help these people. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying the pros and the cons of it, man. I mean, because we need to keep pushing, like you're saying, but it's a lot to go into it, man. We could look at the biggest figure, Martin Luther King, man. If you go down to Atlanta, you could go in his house, the tour. You go to his house,
I've been there.
and they have the museum, and he's buried. Him and his wife is buried right there. And when you go into the one museum, there's a picture of his desk, and he was writing a letter. And he basically said like he was going to give up because he's getting all these death threats. He went to Albany, Georgia, and he failed there. He said he would never go back there. And he got killed, right? But whatever way he got killed, it could be the government, whatever we hear. But really, nobody went behind him and took the torch, right?
I mean, there's some people still there a little bit, Quan.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, there's people that came after Martin Luther King. I mean, they're just not as popularly praised, but there definitely are a lot of people that took the torch and the man kept going. But from what you're saying, real man, it's really a real conversation, because they are sabotaging and not only killing, but they disenfranchising people whenever you speak out too much, right? Yeah. So the thing is, when you look at it, it's like I played sports, right? But I played sports. I got some valuable lesson, right? I didn't idolize it. But when you look at a village, every village has an army. So when we're in our communities, man, that's how we had to train our armies, man, is with the sports. So you know how to defend your woman and your family. We had to be strong or whatever. So we use that and we learn certain lessons from it, right? And one is never to give up. their teams that we played, they went 0-10. They could have told us, you know what? We're going to cancel our football program. We're just never going to beat Woodland Hills. But guess what? Every year they came back for that drumming.
Okay, let's talk about that now.
And 15 years later, some of them teams are drumming us now. So it might look like it might not never change. But I remember a time where we was winning all the championships.
Let's talk about that.
Run down on what this is like unheard of. So what I'm telling you is it is tough, Lauren, but when you keep striking at it and you study what's going on in history, right? Instead of just crabs in the barrel, right? Take your time and actually study something. And the person who's coming after you, copy some of his techniques. What we need to start doing is copying some of the techniques that were used against us in the programming, like what Dave Chappelle did, because it's working in God's favor. Because look, the more and more they say, cancel Dave Chappelle, more people want to watch it.
That's true. That's true.
So eventually what's going to happen is it ain't going to beat us. God's going to make it so that what they're doing to hurt us eventually helps us.
Hey, it's a good point. Good
so
point.
What I'm saying, we're not going to be able to fix it on our accord. It's on God's time.
Yeah, you're right.
As long as we keep striking the match, God's going to do what he does.
Yeah, you're right.
If they take you, believe in your heavenly Father, and it's your time to go. But be a man.
Hey, that was dope. You're right.
Yeah, that's in the Bible too. Be a man. But, I'll find the scripture later. But you know, one thing that we definitely need to do, like everyone on here right now does not agree about everything, but we have one thing, you know, other than you know, our belief in God, we have, you know, something in common, and we need to be willing to dismantle and back away from that intersectionality thing. Now, I'm not talking to people who are on here, because I know that everyone who's on there isn't, you know, I'm really for that. But for you who are watching, this intersectionality thing, it is a cancer. It is it's really a scam. And you know, if anyone ever wants to, you know, come on here and, you know, talk about it, we're way off topic, but it is one of the leading things that stop progress within the Black community, because you can't ever, you know, move our group up, because you always have to hold on to, you know, this other disenfranchised group, this other disenfranchised group, wherever they, you know, you go, you have to be able to bring them. But if they go up higher, they, you know, you don't necessarily get to go. So I'm like, I don't know how that ends up working.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, one side gets all the benefits of it, and the other says like, hey, we just part of the club. So we got to get away from that.
Good point.
Right. So we're probably gonna be wrapping up soon. Social Climate, you want to end on anything and say last word?
Guys,
my fault for doxing you.
Hey guys, I love what you're doing, man. Keep up the show. And speaking on what Dave Chappelle did, I dropped and Lauren will tell you about it. We did a parody on a gangster song, on a trap song, right? And one of the biggest trappers that we know about in our history, you know, is the person who wrote that letter called the Willie Lynch letter, right? So I did a parody where on the song I'm talking about Willie Lynch like he's a trap rapper, and he was trapping Black people. But if you never heard of Willie Lynch, you can actually listen to the song and think that it's a modern day trap rapper talking about making money. That's how bad we've been tricked out of our original culture into a culture that's making us fall into something that we not are. And our woman also is fallen into that state also, man. So wake up and man, start paying attention to your tradition, your culture, who you are. Okay, read your Bible, read your book, whatever you believe in. You believe in God. Make sure you practice that, and make sure that you're getting with like-minded people to be your partner, as well as to do business with for our people in the future generations. Social Climate, check out the show. I'm on YouTube, and I will be coming out with mentoring and camps that'll be bringing trades and how to do financial literacy, all type of stuff coming in the future. I'll be contacting all three of y'all brothers, so maybe y'all can put some of y'all hands in that in some form or aspect. I love y'all, and peace out till next time. This is Fallen Angel Social Clown.
We're gonna play one of your videos while you real quick. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull your. You don't have to be on if you don't want to, but I'll play one of your videos. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check out. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
All right, my brother.
All right.
But why still there's school in our neighborhood is because we're not taking the ownership part of this. So that's why I'm saying that I'm putting up with ownership. I'm not pointing the target at the teacher to say this should be the parent's job. But when I'm talking about the home, that's a different conversation. I'm talking about home. But we're talking about the classroom. I'm tired of the teachers being in the classroom and they're afraid to educate my class because of some personal issue they got with racism that they got personal issue with.
Yeah, so
Coming in and being in the school, working with the kids, they don't really understand what's going on. And those are the ones who are afraid to educate our kids. And so I'm speaking as a parent,
so that's a little
and
snippet
also
of
somebody
what
who's
a
working.
couple things he got lectures on there, man, really good. So just go check them out. There, let me get that off the screen. Yeah, that was dope. That was dope, man. Oh man. Yes, social climate was going in.
Always does.
Yes. Swanee, is there anything else you want to lead us with, man? The words of wisdom that you always bring every week.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Those who are in the get along gang, there's a scripture that says, broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Narrow is the path to life. So while you're following what everybody else is doing because they're making a little money, okay, you're being bought up in a system. You're being deceived, okay, into believing that you're going to gain something. And meanwhile, we've been losing the whole time. So you got to hook up with like-minded individuals like the brothers that's on this show, TNJRadio show, man. So if you're out there, y'all need to subscribe, like, and share to your family members and to everybody in the community. It's important, man. The topics that we talk about and the content we talk about is so very important for our kids, and what we talk about all the time, that it starts in the household. So this message today is for everybody that's in the household. Teach your kids right now. Educate yourself. Go study. Go research everything. And don't be afraid to ask no questions, because that's where it starts. It starts with asking a question. Ask a question in church. If you're not understanding something in church, ask a question. In school, ask a question. If you're in a household, ask a question. Wherever you're at, ask a question. That's the most important thing you can do, is ask questions. And that's how you learn. That's how you grow. And then you're able to study and go research the answer that they gave you. So I leave with this, man. I love y'all, man. I want everybody out there to know that God is real and he's on our side. Be resilient. I know you are, as you are, and have faith and be humble and continue to ride. Always move forward, no matter what. No matter what, move forward. So I love y'all, brothers, man. I appreciate y'all bringing me on once again, man. And all love, man.
Oh, man, that was dope. We appreciate you as well, man.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Nah, I'm a Patreon fan too. So go get, if y'all ain't down, man, subscribe, man. Get on the Patreon, man. I'm a subscriber, man. And this is a lovely ride, man.
Oh man, we love you. Appreciate you too, man. Yes. And that was dope. Another dope show, man. Thanks to Swanee and Social Climate and the guest that was on there, Jimmy, Captain Mayonnated. Is that how you say it? He brought the heat.
Man. Yeah, Captain Mayonnated, he brought it. Swanee brought it.
Cynthia came through.
So many on there. Man,
that was fun. Absolutely. Oh, hold on. Let me put this up. Shout out to supremecandlesandbutter.com. Check that website out. Get some candles out there. Let me see here. Yeah, we'll definitely we'll keep that up there. We'll put that on tomorrow. I mean, next week as well. Check out the businesses. Now, that's the thing, man. If you want to support, definitely support businesses, man. If you want to put your money where your mouth is, you got people out here doing the work. Let's do it. Like people talking a lot of game, but you got to support, man.
Right. Especially if a lot of people want to talk about real change. Yes, some of it does happen in the voting booth, but the real power and change happens from the dollars and from the bank account. So, definitely support these businesses, and you want to support businesses that have people that are pushing a message that you want to push, because if those people end up making a lot of money, then they're able to influence who's going to be in the voting booth.
That's right. That's right. Definitely go on TNJRadio for Cashapp. We appreciate the support. And guess we're gonna end it off right there, man. You got anything else you want to leave in with? Or?
Real quick on the Cash App, I know that first I want to thank we had a few that came in, and we thank you guys for your donations. But I did want to just put this out here that a lot of times people look at some of these different political shows and stuff like that, and they're donating $100, $500, things like that. You don't have to do anything like that. If you want to donate $25, then that's perfectly fine. You don't have to feel embarrassed like what $25 going to do. But any type of donation, what it does is it helps us to be able to put out messages, to be able to be that source of media.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be able to influence, and we want to be that media and change what's going on, because your CNNs and things like that, a lot of times they're going to only give the message of what they're paid to be told. We are independent, and you're going to end up seeing a different message, a message from the people.
All right, let's give a couple shout outs for the people that was in the comments, getting and cracking. Yeah, Marlene said very interesting show on TNJ today. Yeah, we was getting it done today, man. We was rolling. See, I had my coffee today. See, usually I'm drinking and I'm like this. You know what I'm saying? I was alert. All right, what's the next comment we have on top of that?
Here, I got you. Got Patricia Wheeler said it's no longer canceled. Who else we got in the comments there? Jolene Alexander over on the YouTube side said that Dave, talking about Dave Chappelle, said what needed to be said.
That's the whole fact and nothing but the facts.
Said it doesn't matter what your crazy mind tells you, or if you don't bleed once a month, you're not a woman. We also had Dick LeBeau was in there. He was in there lighting it up. For guys, for you who don't know what Blush is, it's a dancing center. It ain't theatrical art.
A lot of clapping going on there. A lot of clapping.
Yeah, a lot of clapping going on in there. Yep. So, he said, Blush Center Ave, it's the, there ain't going to be no billionaires. So, yeah, thank you for coming on. Jay Glenwood, thanks for coming on. He said people are moving by convenience. Who else? WJR on the YouTube side. He had a few comments there. Appreciate you coming on. And Daria Josie Woods was over there. We saw earlier Supreme Butters and Candles. She was on both sides. She was on the Facebook side and the show your face side. She came on here brave, said, I ain't afraid.
That's right.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, we appreciate everyone who came on. You guys are the show. It's not really about us. We don't want to be the message. We're just the messengers, and we want to facilitate something to where your voices can be heard.
That's right. And I guess we're gonna end with that, man. And just to let y'all know, we're gonna end with
Hey, where the white women at?
we out.
Peace.